We're so happy to have you here for our very first original Theater for Social Justice play. In your program, you have a chance to kind of read a summary of what we did over the last year in the Theater for Social Justice program with Father Bills. Quick note about that from the producer note. It actually says from the producer twice, but that second part is from our director, and I want to make sure I give her credit. Senior Polly Gomes, I think at the back, if I can see you correctly. So this is her senior project. She's put a lot of thought and work into it. So everything you're seeing up here really came from her concept. So I want to make sure I give her credit for that, and I apologize for the typo there. If I can take a moment, I want to thank special people here tonight. Father Bill's staff, we could not have done this without you saying yes and opening your doors. So thank you so, so much for allowing us to walk in and then portray everything we experienced on our stage. The Theater for Social Justice students, especially students at ENC, also who shared their personal stories with homelessness. Thank you for sharing. And then finally, especially Father Bill's guests. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for opening yourselves up. Thank you for consenting to let us portray you on our stage. So if we can just take a moment and thank those people, I would really appreciate it. As you came in at the back, hopefully you've also seen our winter clothing drive, especially our sock drive. If you forgot to bring something or you realize you've got something at home, we will be here through tomorrow still accepting any donations, and thank you so much for donating if you have. We also have a table at the back that provides more information specifically about Father Bills and Mainspring, so feel free to take any of those. After each of our performances, we also are offering a panel talkback, and on this panel, Polly, our director, one of the Father Bill's staff members, and then a Father Bill's guest whose story has been portrayed on our stage will join us. We would love to have you stay for that. If you can, we will immediately move into that after the show. If you need to head out, please feel free to do so. Just do so quietly, but we'll move right into that afterwards, and that'll be a chance for you to hear directly from those people about what this whole project was like. Housekeeping rules. Let's turn off cell phones. Anything you have that's going to light up, make noise, or disrupt a fellow audience member, we ask that you turn those off out of respect for the next couple of hours. We do have a 15-minute intermission during this show. If you buy concessions, if you can consume them in the lobby, we would appreciate it, or save them for later. And finally, there's no photography of any kind allowed throughout this show. If you are recognizing some of these cameras, QATV is here tonight to film. If you know somebody who is going to miss the show and you really want them to see it, it will be up on the QATV website soon so that you can kind of pass along those words. So thank you again for coming. Please enjoy the premiere of the Father Bills play. Thanks.
The boss that says no, I can't do it. No. Oh my God. I literally yeah, I was so pretty. I don't know how it's called. Yeah, I don't know how it's called.
Lay down your weary tune, lay down the song you strung, and rest yourself neath the strength of strings. No voice can hold too long. Struck by the sounds before the dawn, I knew the night had come. The morning breeze like a bugle blew against the drums of dawn.
I like Bob Dylan. Me too.
So what does a homeless person look like?
It's like when you tell your child to draw a stranger and they draw a monster.
Just because you're homeless doesn't mean you're a drug addict. Drinking and drugging, mental health. I work. I have a job. Sometimes you just have shit luck.
I sing for the Quincy Choir. I work for QATV. I read books at the library and volunteer for local events. I didn't ask to be homeless.
People look at you with a backpack and a beard and they treat you like trash. We're all just human beings.
The government! Because to pull rickshaws requires more than just strong legs. You're also going to need a well-toned upper body. Or a shirt. All right, who's first? Hey, name, please? Rusty. Rusty. You know, I once knew a horse named Rusty. No offense.
Whoa, what the hell?
Look out for that homeless guy!
Open the door, open the door, open the door!
There isn't time! Just run!
Get out here and help me!
They say you shouldn't do that! Just run!
Karen suggested that I get a haircut for the interview tomorrow so that I could look presentable and not, as she so lovingly puts it, homeless.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm the rehousing manager here at Father Bill's. I'm Pat. I'm the marketing communication specialist here at Father Bill's of Mainspring and Brockton. I'm excited to see you guys. I believe in the power of the art.
And this is Jonathan Lanham. He's the service director for the Northern region.
Hi everyone, welcome to Father Bill's. I'm also a graduate of ENC, so it feels good to know you're from my alma mater and trying to dispel stigma surrounding homelessness.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys a tour around Father Bill's. Ferret. Father Bill's used to be a DMV, but was later converted into a homeless shelter. Originally, we were located in a church basement. Our sister local is Mainspring, and that's in the Brockton area. As you can see, it's a little bit crowded, but we make do with the space we have. We don't want a bigger shelter. We want more housing.
We have a proposal into the city for a new building. It would be more like a resource center than a shelter. Right now, we have more of a warehouse model where we provide beds, get guests out the next day, and provide beds again the following night. What we really want is a way to help people before they become homeless.
Hey, no one's in the bathroom and the door's locked. Can I please get the key?
I'll open it for you.
Thank you.
Where do you go when you lose your job or a spouse dies and you don't have a steady income anymore? We could be that place that helps you before you lose your home.
Father Bill's was opened in the late 80s, which is much earlier than our parent Mainspring, Brockton.
Right, but I called yesterday and you told me to call back today.
You know, we're funded under the large amount of money that the state of Massachusetts allocates to shelters all across the state.
I just want to know when I can talk to him. I don't have a phone right now, I have to schedule these calls, so I want to make sure if I call at 3, he's actually going to be there.
The only problem with that is that Boston shelters take up 70% of that funding, leaving the rest of the shelters in the state to split whatever's left. Each bed costs $40 a night to be able to keep open for somebody, but the state only gives us 26. So we really do rely heavily on grants and donations just to be able to keep beds open for people.
Hey, can I go lie down? I've got a splitting headache.
Not today. Dorms are closed till dinner time.
But the dining hall is packed and the nurse is out today, so I can't even get something for the pain.
I can give you some Tylenol.
Forget it. Just never. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're technically only funded for 75 beds a night here in Quincy, but we're giving out almost double that on a nightly basis. Some places would close the doors after those spots fill open, but we believe we need to keep the doors open for anybody who needs a place to stay until we reach fire code capacity. This is the bubble.
Hey, I gotta see. Hold the doors.
The bubble is where the staff kind of live while they're here during the day and overnight. We keep guest meds here, their files, if they need extra.
I'm sorry. Hey, Big John.
Hi, how are you feeling today?
You know, if they need extra shampoo or if they come in after it's been raining.
Socks are also really valuable here. Not that we turn any donations away, but socks are always needed. In all honesty, most donations seriously drop off after Christmas, and our guests really need warm coats, gloves, scarves, especially in the really cold months like January and February.
Guests aren't allowed to come into the bubble, but they can request whatever they need from right out here outside the door. Down this hallway, this is the laundry room. This is where we wash the sheets and pillowcases. The pillows are made of plastic because lice live in feather or cotton pillows, so unfortunately they're not very comfortable, but we can't have pillows that could spread lice.
Hey, who changed the channel? I was watching that. Thought you weren't allowed to do that.
Where you been? No one argued when we wanted to change it earlier. You weren't even here.
I had to
walk
call
in
my
this
lawyer.
direction. This is
Whatever, I haven't seen that episode anyway.
This is the resource room. This is where you all will be running story circles. We have extra mats in here right now because not all the women fit in the space we have. We do house both men and women here, 18 years and older.
We were named after Father Bill, who opened his church basement to anyone homeless in the 80s. He kept housing people until he was held in violation of fire code laws. So he opened this shelter. We merged with Mainspring and Brockton in 2007. It's a much larger facility over there. Here we are a city-owned building, used to be a DMV. Since we are a city-owned building, we don't have a lot of say in what we can do with it.
All right, I can't take it anymore. I'll just take the Tylenol, all right? Can I have 4?
That's why we launched our major new strategic plan in 2015.
Let me just check your file and make sure that's okay.
Part of that includes opening a new resource center, one that is privately owned like our space in Brockton.
It should be fine. I get migraines.
I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking here in Quincy. Since we are a city-owned building, we're constantly hearing rumors that the city's going to shut us down.
I just need to find the latest report.
Hey, 4 Tylenol should be fine. You doing okay, Jim?
Yeah, I just got a splitting headache. Thanks, Taylor.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I know him, and there are a lot of files to sort through. You're fine. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. So, we work really hard at getting our guests to observe our good neighbor policy. They have to be in by 6 at night. They can't hang around places that are outside of our parking lot. If they're going to be customers at local places, they actually have to buy something. Many of them head to the library, but it's not close. If you think about it, many of our guests have disabilities, and the only public place that's really open to them takes some time to walk to. We would love for our resource center to be near Quincy Center, but we're already kind of blamed by some people for what they claim is bringing homelessness into the city. And it's hard here. We want to provide more shelter, but more than that, we want to provide more housing. So we have to find a balance between being a helpful resource, but not too helpful that guests become too comfortable here. For some, they think this is where they're going to spend the rest of their lives. That's not our mission. Homelessness does not have to be your life. It should only last for a period.
Housing dramatically reduces people's substance usage. Just having a safe, stable place to call home makes people less dependent on drugs and alcohol. So that is our top priority.
It would be nice if your play helped show people what we're trying to do here. Help show people that our guests didn't ask to be homeless. They didn't ask to have mental health problems or substance abuse problems or disabilities, but those are the things that keep employers from hiring them and landlords from renting to them. Trust me, nobody wants to sleep in a homeless shelter. For most of our guests, this is their last resort.
I feel overwhelmed a lot of days. I want to do my best in this life, in this world, and in this place at Father Bill's, but yet I feel as if I'm not enough. I have enough, so in this journey I'm trying to learn to let God speak through me rather than to believe that I have all the answers, or that my hands could heal through my power alone. These humans are so very dear and special, and they have such strength and such courage to wake each day and face their days and claim and reclaim again their identities over and over again.
We just passed by the nurse's office, and guests at Father Bill's can have exams here. For many people, the medical office at Father Bill's is their primary care. Down the far end of the hall is where the triage workers work with their set of guests to get people back up on their feet and find housing. We house people who are the most vulnerable, who need the most help. They usually are chronically homeless or have a disability. Couch surfing is not considered homeless.
I got an appointment with my triage worker?
Yeah, of course. Go right on in.
I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do. The guests really like groups who care and who are consistent. We have this lady who comes every Sunday night and brings DVDs and pops fresh popcorn. She's the popcorn lady. At the end of each night, the guests get to vote on what movie they're going to watch next week. It's fun. Staff call it movie night, but everybody just knows it's popcorn lady night. Who knows? If this goes well, maybe you'll be as famous as her.
Men's dormitories, women's dormitories, and veterans each have their separate space. To the right, we can go in this way. This is the dining hall. It's a stay-in day because of the snow. Since the weather is so bad outside, we keep this part open. Usually different community groups can come and volunteer in the kitchen.
Hi guys, my name is Tara Brooke Watkins. I run the Theater for Social Justice program at Eastern Nazarene College, right down the street. We are going to be here every Tuesday at 11 running something called Story Circles, so we can hear a little bit about your experiences and write a play about those and your time here at Father Bill's.
Is it going to be a comedy?
It can be if you want it to be. We're here to hear your stories and listen to anything that you want to share.
Yeah, we're going to be able to say anything we want.
Anything.
I don't think you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm just gonna sit here and read my Faulkner.
You like William Faulkner? I love Faulkner. He's my favorite author. See, we've already found something in common.
You got food?
Actually, yes.
When I started this project, I was terrified. I think my irrational fears of being in places I've never been and talking to people I don't know was really getting to me. That first day I ever visited was super difficult for me. It felt like everything happened all at once. We got up to the building, and then we took out chairs, and we got them in the room, and then suddenly we were grabbing snacks and talking to people. I didn't even really have time to feel nervous. When Tammy walked in with her cheetah print shirt, she brought a warmth with her into the space. She hugged every single student, even me, and I never met her before. Her and Jen were hilarious, communicating the way that college roommates do. I mean, I know where you live, and that's my bunkmate. I mean, it was a great moment of connection for me. Another thing I noticed throughout our time with them was how much fun everyone was having, reliving all their favorite memories. It was beautiful. I didn't know I would love this so much.
So thank you all so much for coming. I just wanted to take a moment and explain a little bit more about what we're doing here. We are from Eastern Nazarene College, as I mentioned before, and we are here because we believe in the power of theater to change lives and communities and to bring awareness to social justice issues, as well as validate people's individual experiences. So with that in mind, we're going to be running story circles once a week. We want to hear all about your experiences here at Father Bill's, and then we'll use those as a basis for a play that will premiere at the college in February. Right? I do have some disclaimer forms I need you guys to fill out before we leave. These just say that you're aware anything you share in here could be used in the play. We're also going to be doing some really fun theater exercises while we're here. I know not everyone's a theater person, and that's okay. We're gonna build up each week so you'll get more and more comfortable. If you guys are good with that, I would love to get us started off with a fun game we play in our department called Pass the Energy. Let's stand up. Right on up. Great. Okay, so the way this works is the first person is going to take the energy. They are going to pass it down the line with a big gesture and lots of emotion. I'll get us started. Whoosh! Whoosh! Great. Whoosh! Whoosh! Whoosh. Okay. Whoosh. Good. Whoosh. Whoosh. Okay, a little faster. Move there. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Big.
Whoosh.
Perfect. Whoosh. Wah. 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 Get wah. Yes. Wah. 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 Okay. Wah.
Nah.
Wah. Wah.
What? What?
Okay. Let's have a seat. So, today's question is going to be kind of an introductory. I want to know how you got your name and what is a dream that you have for your life. Whoever wants to start can start.
Also,
Great.
my name is Tammy, and I got my name from my grandfather. He named me Tammy after the song by Debbie Reynolds, but it's spelled with an I-E, not a Y.
Oh, sorry I'm late, guys. I heard you were doing a story circle, something.
welcome.
Can I sit here next to you, Karen? Oh, was I interrupting? Continue. Sorry, Tammy.
But anyway, like I said, my grandfather named me, and he was like a second parent to me. I miss him a lot. A dream? Just to get out of here and see my boys. My sons were taken from me before I came here, and it feels like I'm living every day with a limb cut off, and it's still bleeding.
Thank you for sharing.
Eric, dream? Get out of here and marry Tammy. Seriously, it doesn't have to be in that order.
I'm Karen. I'm Irish and all the khakis were taken, so I'm Karen. I don't know what my dream is. To find a home.
You know, if I was a boy, my mother was gonna name me, but I'm a girl, so my father named me Danielle. Danielle Nicole Armstrong. Like DNA, yeah. Because he was very Italian Catholic, and my mother was a gypsy, so he gave me a Bible name. My Bible name means something, and I'm gonna do something with it. All right, what was that other question? My dream?
A dream.
Oh, my dream? I'm living it. Anytime I'm outside at a park on a nice day. I'm a random angel for people in a mission that God gave me called Operation Make Jesus Famous. So I go to people who need to know who Jesus is, and I share that kindness with them. You know, my Bible name means something, and with all the shit that I've been through, I'm gonna do something with it. I already started working on it. I got sober 10 years ago with a girlfriend, and it's hard, but I'm using that shit to... Sorry, how old are you? 18. You 18? I shouldn't be saying things like shit in front of you. Nah, fuck it. You wanna know me? This is me. I gotta be me. I've been abused my whole life, so I look out for others who are abused, and I go all demon on them when I see it. We got this old lady, Peggy, in here. She don't got any family or nothing, so Father Bill's is like a family. And the bubble people put her on a mat on the floor the other night. Broke my fucking heart to see Peggy on the floor like that. So I went to Christian Baptist Church. Thought church would keep me clean and safe. And, you know, I met a man there, and my dad died of cancer when I was 2, and I grew up in a nice town, but shit happens. And then my mom almost died in a car accident when I was 15, and that's when I started snorting dope. And then she died, and then my aunt threw me in a mental institution because she didn't want me living with her. So my whole life before I was even 18, I've been bounced around in different places, shelters, couches. So I met a man at Christian Bikers, and I moved in with him because I'm like, fucking yay, it's not a shelter. And I'm telling you girls, when a man who is Christian is also abusive, that messes you up. And not wanting to live on the streets is what keeps a lot of women in abusive situations.
Go ahead. I'm Jim. I don't really know if I was planned or an accident, but I got my name from a family friend and my Italian grandfather. I hope that's what you're asking.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm Jen. Danielle's right. Abusive men put a lot of women in the shelter. Honestly, for me, I'm safer here. I'm scared to leave. I don't want him to find me, and I don't want to go back. My dream is to be fat. I'm too skinny and frail. I want to be strong and big so no one will mess with me. I've gained 10 pounds since being here.
You go.
That feels good. Yeah.
I'm Rick. That's it. Dream? Doing stand-up comedy. That's it.
Great.
I'm Maureen, but call me Mo. I just want to live on the beach. In the summer, I have a tree down in Situate that I go and I stay under, and its branches are low, so nobody knows I'm there, and I just walk out of my little tree home, and I'm on the beach. Father Bill's is close to Wollaston Beach. On nice days, we can walk down there. That's where it feels like everything's gonna be okay. Like things are gonna be okay. Yeah, my dream is a place on the beach.
Hey, sounds like people.
Hey guys, I'm Jeep Fred. That's a Jeep for George. My grandfather's name's also Jeep Fred, and my father's Fred. My daughter's initials are GF. I didn't know this theater for social justice was a thing until I heard it from my barista at Starbucks. He's a student at your college. I have done theater my whole life. But I didn't think I'd get involved again because I have a bad back. But that would be a dream of mine, to do theater again.
Great.
Hi guys. I'm Josh. I don't know how I got my name. I'm sorry. It's short for Joshua, I think. But I prefer Josh. I'm happy you guys are here.
I'm Rick 2. Rick 2. I'm not really sure what you can call me to be different than him, but Tom Brady's my hero.
I love that.
So I guess you can just call me Tom Brady. Or like we could just make up our own names, or that'd be kind of cool. A dream of mine would be to stay sober. I've been sober a week now, and yeah, it's been a pretty okay week. I haven't touched a cigarette in over a year, and I'm really just trying to get my life back together, guys. And you saw me when I came in the other day. I spilled coffee all over myself, but I'm really thankful for you guys for coming. This stuff, it can happen to anybody. You lose your job, you fall back on a couple of payments, and you end up with Father Bill's. But I'm working towards getting back my home. Home is good, home is hope, and I just really want to be out of this place.
It was fascinating to listen to Danielle talk about her twat ticket system. I remember immediately thinking, this has to be in the play.
I got a system though, see? When everyone in the dorms or someone in the bubble tries to screw someone over, they get a twat ticket.
Can we say twat on the ENC stage? But if we don't, are we not telling her story the way she told it? Do we censor her? How do you censor Danielle? Can audiences look past some rough language to appreciate the fun and energy and beauty that is Danielle? How do we tell her story?
I got my notebook here full of rules. This is the Constitution of Father Bill's. I am the founder and president of it. So if somebody's, being a real twat, shits on the floor, or doesn't clean the toilets, they get a twat ticket. Whoa, but I give out angel tickets though too, for those who do good. Twats have to go before Judge Judy, who lives on the top bunk in the dorms, and Judge Judy will give you your sentence. Doing someone else's laundry that week or cleaning the toilets.
I sat there listening to the Father Bill's guest stories and the student stories. I couldn't help but realize so many of their fears are the same. What if I can't get a job? What if no one hires me? Where will I live? The food here sucks. The dorms suck. The people in charge are too in love with their stupid rules. It made me wonder if any of our students had developed a system like Danielle's to deal with a system they had no control over.
While 23-year-old Alejandro Reyes may blend in perfectly on campus, he's keeping a secret from most of his classmates. He's homeless.
We've been homeless.
And you're both going to college?
We're both going to college still. I only have 2 classes. I'm trying to major in theater arts, and he's majoring in zoology.
I wake up back there, and my head's in there, and I slide out, sit down right here, compose myself a little bit, and then I start the car, and I drive up to the locker room, get a shower, shave, just, start my day, start studying.
His school locker is his closet. He brushes his teeth in a public restroom, and at times, he sleeps on this sofa inside a 24-hour campus library.
It's her life outside her college classroom that may be the toughest test of all.
The hardest thing was just not being able to find housing. And so that was the big issue that stood in my way.
So what'd you do?
I lived in my car and then I kind of couch surfed. After that, I moved into this big trailer. And then the trailer roof collapsed a little bit.
Gotta be hard going to school while you're homeless.
It's hard to manage of thinking, where are you going to sleep tonight, to your homework.
The problem with homelessness in universities is that because we don't want to stand out, that the university has no idea that we even exist.
When I became homeless, I was a little bit older. My grandparents kicked my mom out because of her coming out to them, and when she left, we left. She had been calling people, and finally someone said we could go stay with them.
I remember staying in hotels with my dad, getting kicked out because we didn't have enough money. I remember our house getting foreclosed. My dad sitting me down with tears in his eyes, saying he couldn't take care of me anymore.
My mom was around some of the time. One day she kissed me on the forehead and said goodbye, and that was when I knew. She got in a big green truck and drove away, and I knew she wasn't coming back.
My dad is a disabled vet. He can't work. He suffers every day, and people don't see it. At one point, we were living out of his car.
They were drinking and partying, and then one big fight broke out, and suddenly we were back on the streets. That's when we went to our first shelter. I remember holding my brother's hand as we walked with our trash bags full of stuff to the shelter.
It's because of my experience. I'm scared of graduating and not having a home or job. Where will I go, and will I be able to stay in Quincy? Could I really afford it here?
Are you ready to read it?
Yes.
Dude, I've got a plan. I've got a plan here. Yeah? I don't know. Are you ready?
Am I ready? Yeah,
You
I'm
don't
ready.
seem like you're listening. You seem like you're
listening.
chatting.
I'm not listening at all.
I'm not listening. Okay, bros, it's time. We gotta educate the public to the real Quincy.
That's right.
When people move here, I want them to Google maps of neighborhoods, and I want ours to be the first one to come up.
Right.
Oh, how do we make that happen?
Well, idiot. First we
You're
gotta
the idiot,
create the
stupid.
map, then we gotta flood search engines for Kevin's
Yeah, my
blog,
blog.
and then pull up the map as the
You read my
first
blog?
entry every time we get there.
So, no more Wollaston, the Quarry, or Marymount?
Can you believe this guy?
Oh, stop.
You're so dumb. They'll still be there, but now we name them as they really are, as the real people in Quincy see them.
Hey, so we'll call Germantown just, we don't ever go there.
Yeah, nice. Write it on the map. Oh, you're so smart. Okay, what's next then, huh?
Okay, how about warning all our potential buyers of all the places where the water's full of shit?
It would be
Oh.
easier to say where that's not.
You think I'm like a Marina Bay?
Nah.
No?
Let's call that overpriced swamp homes.
That's so good. All right, come on, Nut Island.
That's where your poop goes swimming.
This is so good, you guys. You guys, we are saving Quincy from the invaders. All right? Okay, Adams Hill.
Ugh, I took my kid there for Halloween. That should be called people who suck at trick-or-treating.
Yeah, West Quincy is the absolute best trick-or-treating. Okay, come on, the Blue Hills. Let's go.
That's where our surprisingly friendly guys hang out.
Oh, yeah?
My buddy Jack's down there.
Yo, you know Jack? I love Jack.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, shut up. Wollaston.
Nasty.
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 Hey, write it down. Come on.
Wait. Is Nazi spelled like Nazis?
Bro, are you serious?
I don't know.
What I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah, my vlog is very important. I know this. I'm wondering the same thing, honestly.
All right,
Danielle, come on. What the hell's going on?
I present the case of a profit bed for old Mrs. Claus.
This is ridiculous. You can't actually be charging me for giving someone a mat. There weren't any more beds.
All right, buddy.
This woman is old, bubble person. She should not be sleeping on the floor. Honestly, I thought it was being helpful by giving her a mat. We don't have enough room as it is.
All right, Your Honor, the bubble person's not taking into account that Peggy's like 102.
All right, I've heard enough. Bring forth the victim.
Girls, this is nice of you all, but I'm just glad I have a place.
Bubble person, you are hereby sentenced to sleeping on the floor on a mat yourself for 3 weeks.
Ha! Good one, Your Honor.
Thank you, Danielle. Peggy, you are granted first in line for the bathroom in the morning.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. Wait, this isn't for real, is it? Get out of here, come on.
Jesse Ramirez and Christopher Garza have enjoyed eating at Daniel's Tacos for years. They were saddened to see a homeless man grab a bowl of soup out of the trash and start eating.
And I said, would you like a hot meal? And he said, yes.
Andrew asked for a bowl of menudo and a quesadilla, so Garza went to the counter to get it.
And the employee said, you can order the food, but he's going to have to go elsewhere. Will you tell him that?
I'm not being disorderly. The guy he didn't ask me for food. And I saw him across the street and I brought him over here and gave him food.
Okay, we're here because apparently he's asked multiple people, okay? Multiple people have complained, so it's not just you.
So there we have it. Cheryl, the manager on duty, has refused to serve me, and apparently she's also called the police on me when I have money to spend. And this is because I'm homeless. So this is how the homeless are treated, even when you have money to spend. Even when you have money to spend.
Thank you. Oh, I really needed this today. This coffee's really warming my soul.
Yes, coffee's a nice slap to the face. I really needed a pick-me-up today. This cold weather is kicking my ass.
Telling me.
Excuse me, but you guys have been here way too long. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
But, sir, we've only been here for 10 minutes.
Listen, I'm not trying to stir up any trouble. All I'm saying is you gotta leave. Don't make me call the cops.
Are you shitting me? Why would I lie to you? We just needed something to eat.
Even if we were here for 20 minutes, we ordered your food. Your sign says that you can stay here for 30 minutes when you order food.
Yeah, what the hell? There are people who've been in here longer than us. I don't see you asking them to leave.
Listen, I don't care what the signs say. I'm only gonna say it one more time. You all need to leave now.
Can you believe this guy?
Sir, we're not trying to give you an attitude. We're just trying to speak about our rights as customers.
Come on, guys. Let's just go. He's not worth our time. Hey, have a good day. God bless.
I know the only reason that he targeted us was because we had our backpacks on.
He obviously knew we were from Bill's. Hate these damn backpacks. There's a huge label on our back that screams homeless. I just wanted to eat my chicken nuggets. So now what, library?
No, I don't think I can walk that far. What the way my spine is today. Actually, I think I need to go back.
Let's go back inside. Get you a seat.
Yeah.
Tammy, look up. Can you call an ambulance? My girlfriend just fell in your parking lot and she's out. She's not responding.
You guys have got to be kidding me. I'm calling the cops.
She doesn't need the police. She needs an ambulance.
You all come here high as a kite. You want to be treated like everyone else who works hard for a living. You bring this on yourselves.
Sir, we didn't do anything. I'm sorry other people might have used the rules, but we didn't, and you know it.
You sit here all day and expect handouts.
Did you call an ambulance? We bought food. How are we any different from the other people who bought food?
You can't sit here all day. You read the sign, 30 minutes maximum time.
She could die right here in your parking lot.
Officers, you're causing disturbance.
You all from Father Bill's? What does that have to do with anything? My girlfriend fainted and we called an ambulance. She has a spinal cord disease and the cold is not good for her. You shouldn't be out on the streets then. We weren't. We were inside eating, minding our own business. This guy kicked us out.
What is she on?
Nothing. She has a disease.
Eyes are glassy, rolled back.
Sir, tell us the truth. What drugs is she on?
Why won't you guys listen to me?
from the wilderness, a preacher boy to fun. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, and on that I give my word. In a world of steel like death and men who are fighting to be born. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm.
So, you want to be in the homeless network. Well, clearly you look the part. And, yep. Now, your duties, there are places that I, thanks to my notoriety and refined sense of smell, cannot go, that you can inhabit. You, my feted friend, are for all practical purposes invisible. No one looks at you, no one wants to look at you. Frankly, I'm struggling right now.
By the early 2020s, there was a place like this in every major city in the United States.
Why are these people in here? Are they criminals?
You know, people with criminal records weren't allowed in the sanctuary districts.
Then what do they do to deserve this?
Nothing. Just people.
Oreos. I like Oreo milkshakes.
Me
too. I used to eat Oreos with my sons. Me too.
Theater. I like to sing and dance.
Me too.
Me too.
I've always wanted to be in a show.
Me too.
Me too. Me too. Grandparents.
I don't have any grandparents.
I used to cook with my grandparents.
Me too.
Me too. Great, guys, let's have a seat.
I have a Section 8 housing voucher, but I cannot find housing. Once the landlord sees the Father Bill's address, you never hear back from them again. And I've really tried to go and look for housing. I've also tried to work with my triage worker, but I'm hearing nothing back from apartments. Since coming to Father Bill's, I've been working over here in the kitchen, help serving food during meals, but some days are harder than others here. Especially hard in the process of trying to look for housing and having the no cell phone indoors rule. It's my understanding that some people are coming from abusive situations outside the shelter, so I do understand. However, when you're trying to look for a home though, you need those kind of resources, and we do not have those resources here without our cell phones. Even with getting our cell phones, it's still hard. Think about if you're applying for a job and you're called back for an interview. You need space to make a private conversation, and we do not have that space here in the shelter. Even if we had it, it's going to be still hard. This is just it's really frustrating. Sorry.
No, thank you for sharing.
I have to live. We have to live every day of our lives with this sense of fear. Fear of getting kicked out of food places like McDonald's or Dunkin'. Once they see us all come in with our backpacks on, it's like there's this huge sign on our forehead that says, contagious. They probably think you can catch homelessness or something. I just wish the people in charge of these food places realize that we are all humans. We have real emotions, and we have to live these lives every day. Being homeless is not something we chose. It is the unfortunate circumstance of life that put us in a position where we have nowhere else to turn. It's like that Bob Dylan song, Like a Rolling Stone. And that's how I was. I went to school and I looked down on homeless people. And now here I am. I really wish I had known about this before I had gotten into it. Maybe I wouldn't have done some of the things I did. Maybe things would be different. Just maybe.
I left a high-paying job at Deaconess Hospital and ran off to Club Med to become a bartender. I grew into a person who could talk to anyone and handle anything. I'm Irish Catholic and we don't like to talk about our feelings. I married a man who was French and we lived in France for a while and it was beautiful. And he loved his son, but my daughter feels unwanted. I think I left the hospital because I wanted to have fun and be carefree for once. I mean, that's what I do here too. Learning to let go made it easier to transition here. The hardest part though was Christmas break because my daughter, she's in college, had no one to come home to. No home to come home to. We as parents may not know how to show you we love you or screw up on doing it right, but we love you and that's all we can do.
Pass.
Well, there's a cold been going around here since Christmas, and I finally got it, and I've been fighting it. However, I get mean when I'm sick. And I told the people in the bubble that I wasn't feeling well, and they told me to rest my head on the dining room table. And I was like, are you kidding me? I told them that they might as well tell me to lick the floor. I am not putting my head down on those tables. Who knows how many germs are on them, and not to mention, I was written up for things left in my bed. I have been here for 3 months. I'm gonna collect some stuff in 3 months. I would like to see them go 3 months with 2 bags and not collect some stuff. Can't help it. And I'm too tired to deal with them right now. I just want to go to sleep. Is that too much to ask?
All right, get off the stage. There's a scene going on. Come on, be a little considerate.
Criminal justice.
All right.
What do you think you're doing?
Your Honor, bubble person versus Tammy.
All right, one person, what do you got to say for yourself? What's going on?
Didn't you just do
No,
this?
I don't even care. All right, Tammy, is it this fine again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tammy, sweetie, you get to lie down all day, all right?
I'll take it.
And
You
you,
go, Tammy.
instead of sitting on your ass all day, you have to stand, all right? Get out of my sight. Don't even.
All right, come on. You're wasting my time.
I retired years ago, and I decided I wasn't ready to do nothing all day, but I didn't want to keep going to a job that was pointless and that I hated. So, I'd been volunteering with my church to serve dinner at Mainspring in Brockton, that's the other site, and I asked if they had any job openings, why not? And they said, no, we don't have anything here, but we do have something at Father Bill's. I'm like, Father Bill's? I hadn't even heard of Father Bill's then, but I've been here 10 years now. You know something? People are cruel to the homeless. Even the ones who think they're nice, yeah. I mean, people donate stuff, and that's great, but these people deserve more than just donations. They need someone to care about them when they see them on the street. And another thing, people will only donate what's convenient for them. Yeah, they don't want to give anything that makes them uncomfortable. We have this family at my church. They always donate. So they asked me a couple weeks ago, what do they really need? And I said, you know what we really need? Women's underwear. They turned around and brought shirts in, again. And then the husband says to me, what I have a problem with is I think that these people just choose to remain homeless because they don't want to get a job. Such a crotch. I hear that all the time. Most of the guests at Father Bill's do have jobs. In your play, there should just be this moment where it's all dark and quiet, and a voice just says, hey, maybe they should get a job.
My pastor made a joke in church on September 8th.
Boy, it's a nice day out today. I looked outside and I saw all those hammocks and I thought, it's a good day to be homeless. I want to go up to one of them and look them in the eye and say, this is why you get a job, so you can have a roof over your head.
That just didn't sit well with me. After getting to know everyone at Father Bill's, I don't know, it just wasn't funny.
My brother had my nephew dress up for Halloween like this.
Oh, gosh.
I got upset with him and he said he didn't care.
Well, sometime around Christmas, I saw this on Instagram. I mean, I hate to say, but look at them. They're supposed to be protecting us.
How do you stop people like your friends from making fun of homeless people? I mean, I'm guilty of it too, I know that now. But now that I've worked with people at Father Bill's and I know more about what it's like to be homeless, I would never. But there's a new problem now of hearing other people do it and not quite knowing how to stop them or hold them accountable. Seriously, what are you supposed to do?
Hi. The ENC Theater students have been working so hard on the Father Bill's play. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions for the play?
Yeah.
Okay, first question. What do you know about homelessness?
I know that there's a lot of homelessness, and ENC partnered with a shelter a few years back, but that broke down. I know about Father Bill's.
What have you done to help the homeless?
I've given out food on the streets, but not really. This guy asked for money once because he was hungry, so I bought him Burger King instead.
Have you ever thought about volunteering your time to help the homeless?
I thought about volunteering time on Saturdays for sandwich ministries, but I didn't have time, and I worked.
Thank you.
Honestly, I don't know much, and I have not much done much to help. I think it's great what you guys are doing, though, and I look forward to a new, appreciative knowledge. I hope to learn more about the issue and what I can do to help. I am the ENC community.
I'm not educated on that, and I haven't done much. Not much. Am I being quoted? I knew about the bridge before I came here, and they did art at the island, really impactful. But that got shut down. But no experience. If you use this in the play, do you think I could see it before you put it in? Or if you can use whatever I say, as long as there's no name attached. But I think it's great what ENC is doing. ENC Theater is showing real people and real stories and actual experiences. It should be interesting. An interesting melding of people, meeting the reality that homeless people are in the audience. You know, this is all about how theory meets reality. Homelessness is no longer just a construct, but something we actually have to grapple with.
I became aware of literal homelessness when I was 4 and we moved from West Virginia to New York City. It was such a memorable experience. I developed a broken heart for all those I saw that were homeless. I could see that they were sleeping on the street without much protection, so I asked a lot of questions. It wasn't something that entered my mind and then left my mind easily. I became very focused on it years after that, and I think that's what led me later to want to study injustice.
I was pickpocketed at Fenway when I was younger, and that really put a damper on my view of homeless people. But sometimes after I'd get off work, I'd go to McDonald's and get like six McChickens to give out to homeless people, back when they had a $1 menu, which they don't have a $1 menu anymore. But, you know, I'm from Nantucket, and there are homeless people in Nantucket, but you wouldn't know it. They look just like everybody else. I remember in 3rd grade, I learned about Underground Tom. He was this homeless guy that I guess chose to be homeless. Like, he could have lived somewhere, but he just decided not to. I think the homeless people in Nantucket look just like everyone else, and they're more proactive because they don't sit on the sidewalk with a cup in their hands.
My experience with homelessness started when me and my grandparents stayed at a homeless shelter for women running from abusive situations.
Well, I lost a lot of things that are sentimental to me. When you have to move around so much, you can't take everything with you all the time. This experience has made me stronger and has made me appreciate everything we do have.
After going from shelter to shelter, all I remember is my mom got this like Section 8 voucher, and then she lost it. That was when we were actually on the streets. We ended up sitting in a McDonald's for a whole night just trying to figure out what to do. We slept in a bathroom that night because, well, I guess she knew someone who let us stay there.
We spent Christmas there, and I got a shoebox full of small gifts. I just wanted my toys and my animals at home.
Even when we were struggling, I had the best moments with my dad. It didn't matter if we were in the basement or a motel room or his Blackboard expedition. When we had nothing, I had the time of my life.
When my mom finally came back into our lives, I don't like to use the word hate, but I can truly say I hated her. I was like, why did you leave us?
Why did you leave us?
I eventually moved in with my mother, but she kicked me out of the house when I was 17 years old. I didn't have anywhere else to go. My school gave me papers of local shelters near me, and I was afraid of going back to a shelter.
Well, we watched 3 or 4 Super Bowls together, all in different motels or halfway houses. I remember how we'd make nachos, and it would be the best thing ever.
I was lucky enough to have my youth pastor who let me stay with his family to finish up my senior year of high school and get to ENC. I still live with that fear today. I don't know what life outside of ENC looks like for me.
Yeah, even when I came to see ENC, I was still facing homelessness because I knew that without the school, I had nothing. But now I live in Young, and I pay rent, and that's fucking dope. Oh, sorry.
I'm a resident here at Father Bill's, and the community lunch is something that we all love and enjoy. It is one of the better meals of that we have. For a lot of us, this is our only meal. This is the only way that we would have lunch. We have volunteers that come in and are nice and friendly and share with us. They brighten up the atmosphere. There is one group that that comes in especially, and they come out and they serve everything on trays to us. And they'll serve the salads, and then they'll serve the meal, and then they'll walk around with the desserts and offer it to us at the table. They have conversations with us. They smile. Sometimes they pray. We'll all say a prayer, depending on what group it is. It's very nice to have this because, we are homeless. This is all we have.
I'm a social worker. I came here because I want to help people. I want people to feel like someone cares in this world. It's hard for them here, I know. But I just want them to feel like someone's not out to get them. And I don't always do a perfect job. None of us do, but we care. I can truly say I don't know one person here who doesn't care. One thing I want to point out is how little space we have here. Like, we have one bathroom down the hall, and there's a line by it, and the phones in the lockers where the guests can keep their stuff. And the hallways are narrow, and everybody's just really cramped, but we push against the walls, and we let each other by, and everyone just respects each other. It's nice. That's a sign to me that we're all working really hard to make it work in here.
Hey, I should have a bed. Why do I have a mat on the floor?
Keep it moving.
No, come on. I've been here over a month. I should have a bed.
Hey, Big John, what's going on? What's up with dinner?
It appears that the local church group that was supposed to show up and prepare dinner never did.
It's always the church.
No, what are you talking about? I know you have more beds in the back.
We'll have to whip up something ourselves. It's just gonna take some time.
Punishing me for passing out the other night, man. The favoritism here is disgusting.
Well, how long is that gonna take? We've been sitting here an hour already.
I'm one of the housing workers. Used to be called triage workers, but now we're housing workers. I get to sit and listen to guests tell their stories, and I try to help them get a job so they can build some credit and get a home. I like my job. I like that I can just listen to people. People want to be heard. I don't know what happens in the hallways, though. Sometimes it feels like I'm a million miles away, even though it's a pretty small building.
After our tour, a few of us hung around to help with intake, and then Jonathan came out and asked if we could help make dinner because the volunteer group didn't show up that night. So Lisa, Jasmine, and I put on our aprons and got started. A couple of the guests showed us where everything was, and we all just pitched in to make dinner as fast as possible.
All right, girls, gonna have to work fast. Not gonna lie, people are upset right now. It's not a good place to be.
Does this happen a lot? Volunteers not showing up, I mean?
More often than you think, especially when a lot of the groups are churches. I don't know, just out of all the people not to follow through. It's sad because they have no idea how one dinner affects so many people. We'll eat, I know that, but in the winter, it's just a lot more people and everyone's been out of the cold all day. It's hard to come here and feel like you're not cared about. Food makes you feel cared about. That's the only way I know how to put it. Come on.
I had always wanted to help the homeless, but I didn't quite know how. I've been at Father Bill's for a little while now, and I don't feel like I'm helping as much as I could. But it's such a hard system. Taylor describes this as a snowstorm, which is true. Feels sometimes you have to shovel the snow to keep the pathway clear, but the snow keeps coming down.
No, there is no way you are putting this woman on a mat on the floor again. Give her my bed.
Whatever you like.
Oh, bless you.
Hey, watch it. Watch where you're going. I'm just in line here.
Sorry, man. Truly, sorry.
Yeah, you better be. Damn, what is taking dinner so long? I gotta be up at 4 for work. Come on.
One of the guests said to me once, "You don't care about us. At the end of the day, you just go home to your house and forget we exist." And that kind of broke my heart. Because yeah, I do go home at the end of the day, but I think about each one of these guests. It's not a switch that I can turn off. On my birthday the next year, she brought me a note with the dessert that she saved for me, and the note said, "I know you now. I trust you."
Hey, Big John, what's up with dinner?
Yeah, come on, Big John. We've been waiting forever.
We have something that we're working on it now. It should be about another 30 minutes.
Another 30
5 minutes ago.
I know, I'm sorry. I know it's tough.
Do you?
All right, George.
Come on.
How are you feeling?
You know, even though it's hot here sometimes, we got people coming back all the time after their house to say thank you, or hey, just wanted to come in and say hi. Sometimes they bring little gifts. We had this one woman once, she was an amazing artist, and she loved birds, right? Weird, but she drew me a picture of a bird. I have it in my house. I look at it every day.
My niece, she's 8. She said to me one time, "Aunt Ari, you have the best job in the world." I said, "Do you know what I do?"
Hey, Big John, I can't keep standing here up on my feet all day. I'm gonna go out and find someone.
I know, I hear you. Thank you for keeping it together, even though it's hard.
Oh, I'm about to lose it.
Listen, George, I'm gonna have to call an ambulance. I know it's not what you want to hear, but unfortunately, you're too intoxicated to stay here tonight.
She said, "Yeah, you work with homeless people, don't you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's what I do." She said, "Yeah, they just need people to be nice to them. How hard is it just to be nice to people?"
I'll sit with you until they get here. I'm not going to leave you.
Nationwide, attacks against the homeless are on the rise. And just like the beating death of Norris Gaynor 2 years ago in Fort Lauderdale, teenagers, even kids, are often to blame.
So I'm sure in a 10-year-old's mind, somehow it's my fault.
John D'Amico was attacked by 2 10-year-olds last year in Daytona. One of them dropped a concrete block on his head. Out of more than 160 unprovoked attacks on the homeless nationwide last year, more than half, 64%, were at the hands of teens.
That if you talk enough sense, then you'll lose your mind. And I use you as a focal point, so I don't lose sight of what I want. And I go further than I thought I could, but I missed you more than I thought I would. And I use you as a warning sign, that if you talk enough sense, then you'll lose your mind. I found love where it wasn't supposed to be, right in front of me. Talk some sense to me. And I found love where it wasn't supposed to be, right in front of me. Talk some sense to me.
Yes! Yes!
Wow.
Wow.
Yo!
Yo!
Woo!
Woo!
Okay.
Okay. Yes! Yes! All right, let's have a seat, guys. So, I was thinking this week a lot about how the Father Bill's guests and the ENC students, you're both in small institutions where you don't really have a lot of say over your lives. At Father Bill's, you guys have the no touching rule, And ENC has the whole shoe in the door policy, I believe it's called.
Shoe in the door policy?
That's the policy that the school has, that when a guy and a girl are in the dorms at the same time, they have to have a shoe in the door to keep the door open.
Leave room for the Holy Spirit.
Sorry, late. So late.
As I was saying, you guys, you all live in close quarters. I'm sure you deal with rumors being spread. But today, I wanted to talk about some of the more joyful moments that you found in these places and with each other. So my question to you today is, what is a moment that has brought you joy?
Oh, there's this one night, this singing group came in, Boston Minstrels, I think they were called, and they sang Christmas carols. They were great, and we were all singing along, and, you know, some of us got pretty loud. It's a wet shelter, so half of these people come in here drunk. They got these drunk guys singing along with these gorgeous singers. They were beautiful, right? Their voices, oh my God. And then suddenly the bubble people come in and break it up like it's a fight. I mean, it's in their contract to be rude, I swear.
Well, I really liked Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, Tom Brady, he is a god.
It was really fun. We didn't have our usual watery pasta that night. We all had just gotten paid because it was the first of the month, and so we chipped in for pizza, and the staff came and joined us and watched the game with us, and it was a really good time. I mean, I wasn't really personally following the whole thing. I don't really know much about football, but I don't think all of us were paying that much attention. We were just having fun and laughing. It was fun.
Yeah, until the bubble people came in and ruined it right after the game. It was like, that's it, lights out. Can't believe them.
You know when you have to do mundane, everyday tasks? Chores? It's boring. That's how laundry is for me. And I don't know, there was this one day, me and my bunkmate decided we were not going to be bored doing our laundry. We just started tossing clothes at each other and stuff. It was dumb, but we laughed hard for a long time.
My friends and I had a laundry night too, where we just like play games with the basket. Oh my gosh, that sounds so stupid. But we put the baskets on our heads and we just spun until we got dizzy. I don't know, it was fun.
You guys have your own bubble people that come in and ruin your fun? They have a list of people they want to torture.
Well, I think I would have to choose last night.
Oh my God.
Why did I say that? Oh my God. This woman in the dorm, she comes in and she's all drunk and stumbling. So the bubble people basically say, you know, go lie down. So she does, and we have a little fun with her.
No.
Hey, Tammy, give me your lipstick.
Oh my God.
Okay, but hey, if the bubble people ask, it's not my lipstick, and I'm not touching her.
Oh my God.
At least it's a hug.
Oh my God. You guys.
Okay, give it to me. Give it to me.
You guys, what are you doing?
You guys, that's me. Yeah, you want to try? No.
Oh my God. Oh, right, love, that's nice.
You want to write it?
No, I just want to tell you what to write. Give her some eyebrows.
Oh, yes. Pink eyebrows. Oh,
no.
About 3 in the morning, she wakes up to go to the bathroom, and she's stumbling around it. Jen.
I didn't know she hadn't seen it yet. I felt bad later because she thought I was making fun of her, but I just said, oh, you look so nice.
What are you talking about?
Kind of trying to be funny, but boy, was she mad at me later.
What the hell is this? What's on my face?
She had no idea what Jen was talking about, and we all tried not to pee our pants laughing when she went into the bathroom and looked in the mirror.
You all say that looks nice. I'm gonna kill all of you!
The way that she looked in the bathroom mirror was kind of all like distorted, and she looked like that stuff that you get at the discos. I mean, she was glowing.
The best part was even the bubble person couldn't help but laugh when she went to get a wipe to clean her face, and then she just couldn't help it. This woman, who is usually so strict, just burst out laughing.
Oh my God. It brought me back to college, you know? Those are the moments that get you through the night sometimes.
You know, you talked about that time where the woman in charge tried to laugh and then ended up laughing really hard. Reminded me of this time when we went to this hell house thing in New Hampshire. It was like a Halloween haunted house where they tried to scare you into becoming Christian. It was not good there though. But when we got to the part where St. Peter tells people whether they're going to heaven or hell, Tara just burst out laughing, and she wouldn't stop. And she had lectured all of us on the importance of treating it respectfully and acting professionally and observing, and she just snorted even. I was crying. She was laughing so hard. It made all of us laugh too. I felt kind of bad, but also didn't.
Oh, you guys know Elf on the Shelf, right?
Yeah.
Danielle was playing Elf on the Shelf all throughout Christmas time, like she was playing. It was hilarious.
Karaoke night. That was fun.
Or Sunday nights when the popcorn lady comes.
My friends and I, we took a trip to McDonald's at like 2 a.m. I can't remember why anymore, but it was some of the most fun I've had in a long time.
Well, you know what? Everything is funny at 2 a.m.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a-changin'.
We actually have to live these lives. This is not a game for us.
People are talking about you guys. They're nervous about how you're going to portray us.
You know, people don't get that this isn't just about a play. You're trying to bring awareness. We know that.
They're saying you're gonna make fun of us. Are you?
What we do here is hard. We know we make mistakes, but if you only show the bad moments, it may make the staff feel misunderstood.
As you've heard, the staff really care about the guests. I want to make sure they're not coming across in the wrong light.
You know, Father Bill's was the only organization that said yes to this project. Knowing that we would be in their space making a play about their lives. Not knowing who we were or how this would all turn out. They took the risk anyway because telling the truth about homeless people's lives was more important. How do we tell this story?
I said yes because I believe in the power of the arts. Theater especially. I have a background in journalism, but I always wanted to be on stage. Of course, as the head of marketing for Father Bill's in Mainspring, I want us to be seen in a good light. But as a journalist, I want the truth to be told. Whatever that is, we'll learn from it.
We just don't want to be made fun of.
Yeah.
We're real people.
Yeah. If they're just nervous, we have to live these lives. We don't know what you're going to show or say.
I'm not nervous. I love you guys.
What if you guys came to see the show we're working on now? You could get out of here for a night and come have dinner with us on campus. You could be a guinea pig audience for our final dress rehearsal. That would really help us out.
Yes, please.
Hell yeah, let's go right now. I gotta dress up.
Can't let him throw these low passes, Jim. When I keep saying you don't have thicker stroke, the flatter the young guys.
Tom Brady. Belichick would be nothing without him. You ask me what qualities I admire in a person, it's character and perseverance. Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. Didn't think he was going anywhere. Nobody thought anything of him. And now look at him. Look at him! Brady!
I've been at Bill's since last May, and every time I've been in a swamp, I come back to theater, which is my happy place. When I first got here, I was so filled with sadness I couldn't concentrate. I had only one script in my bag, Death of a Salesman. I tried to spend as little time here as possible, so I went to rehearsal, and Brian Dennehy came up and shook my hand, telling me I did a good job. It was mental. My full-time job lately has been taking care of myself, because I have a spinal cord injury that hinders my ability to focus on getting a job or housing. I used to work at a shelter. I'd bring people from there to go see Godspell. I've been a social activist my entire life, and theater was a large part of that. I wish I had known you guys sooner. I would have came before now.
So I had to drive one of our guests out from Father Bill's to Mainspring in Brockton, and I was taking him out of my car, and I was nervous because I didn't know if there were rules I had to follow.
We do have a no touching rule, but it's more out of protection for the guests. There was this guest one time that just hugged me and kissed me. I mean, she was so excited about getting housing. I thought, okay, we can't be too strict about this. We let those things go.
So I'm driving him out there in my car, and I hate to admit this, but I didn't think we'd have much to talk about. We were in traffic for an hour and a half, and before I knew it, we were talking about the Patriots. I was really sad to actually drop him off because it felt like I was just talking to my brother, and I know we could have talked for hours. I was ashamed of myself for thinking that there was so much difference between us.
Tom Brady is the best there ever was. No one better than him!
Call me when it's Red Sox season. I'm trying to get opening day tickets, you know.
Hey, I'll go with you. I'll get us both opening day tickets.
Cool. Never gonna happen. What can I say? I like him European. My first husband was French. My boyfriend of a long time was Spanish. Hey, where's your friend Jose? He's a cutie.
This isn't my fault. The system screwed me over. I was a homeowner for 15 years, then some wacko hit me with his truck. I should have gotten Social Security benefits, but they wouldn't listen to me. I had Patriots season tickets before I lost my home. I miss tailgating. I used to go all out. I used to bring venison stew and pork loin, and everybody else just brought, chips and soda from the local gas station. I mean, these days I spend most of my time at the local library. It's one of the only places you don't have to pay to exist. My favorite authors are James Patterson and Stephen King, and I love music, too. I wanted to be a DJ when I was younger. I still have over 12,000 songs on my phone, a little bit of everything. Well, except hip-hop and country. My favorite is Bob Dylan, though. A real singer for the people, I guess, going back to that dream question of yours, my dream would be to be a DJ. Just give the people the music till the people get tired and need to go home. Mostly, I just miss my boys, though. I have two, Lucas and Joshua, but their mom won't return any of my calls. I was the middle child in my family. Things weren't always great growing up. A time when everything changed. When I was in my late teens, my sister and I got into a bad car accident. She suffered severe brain damage and was in a coma for 15 years until she lost her fight on July 4th. I struggled with survivor's guilt. Didn't know why I lived and my sister died. I began drinking to help with the pain. The event that led to me coming to Father Bill's was July 5th, which is already a hard time of year because it's so close to when my sister died. And I found out my girlfriend at the time had been cheating on me. We got into a big fight and I kicked her and my daughter out that night. I didn't want things to get worse, and in the moment I thought it was the right choice. My ex took out a restraining order against me, my dickhead of a cousin who had a grudge against me, and he got me charged with domestic violence. Then I was told I had to go on a breathalyzer. I was working for an alarm company at the time, and when I got arrested, I couldn't go to work, so I lost my job. I didn't have anywhere left to go, so I ended up at Father Bill's. I've been clean for 17 months now. Still haven't seen my daughter. She's 8. I'm working on that. But I have some regrets about how things went down, but in the end, it was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. If I never came to Father Bill's, I never would have met Tammy. I realized I had to lose my freedom to gain my freedom.
We're getting married! Well, we don't know when yet, but hey, 3rd time's the charm.
I'll tell you a little about myself. I guess, yeah, sure. So, I had a mental breakdown, and I was staying at the Wilbur Mental Health Facility to, work on me. But I got a dog. Her name's Lil Wolf, and she's been around a good while, kind of like my shadow. But see, I couldn't take her with me, so I didn't know what happened to her. Figured she got euthanized. I mean, I was in Plymouth Rehab for 2 years, and she was alone, and no one was left to take care of her. And I thought maybe Quincy Animal Shelter found her, and I called, and they told me they were a kill shelter, so I just figured, look, I'm an amateur photographer, and I just couldn't get myself out of bed. No motivation, real depressed. But I'd be praying every night for Lil Wolf. I even told God, kill me and let Lil Wolf live, real depressed. But, you know what? I got a call from my landlord. And you know what she said to me? She said, Lil Wolf's okay, right? It was like sandbags lifted off of me. I wanted to live again. I took a shower and I got myself together. And I saw her, Lil Wolf, when I got out. I can't even tell you how it felt. Now, I'm here for now, and I know she's being taken good care of, and that makes me feel like I could get back to where I was before.
Parties, they're fun, but they're kind of loud. You know it's going to be bad when they all get worked up like this. Beautiful throwing. Next party is Oscar party.
Ooh, I got me a dress to wear.
Sometimes it amazes me how strong the power of love can be. Sometimes you just take my
This morning, we had a memorial service for anyone who had been a guest at Father Bill's in the last few years and went on to get housing and passed away. We also honor people who died while living at Father Bill's. The staff wrote eulogies for all those we honor.
It was nice because we really took the time to try and share what made each person unique. And each time someone's story was told, a candle was lit, and the entire congregation said, "I light a candle in honor of you." It would have been easier to just do it all at once, to have all the eulogies read and all the candles lit at once and do it once for the whole group, but we wanted each person to be individually recognized, to have their individual moment. It was nice.
It was also a nice way to get to know my coworkers a little better, to see what they see. Some of them pulled at my emotions. I had no idea that some were so great writers.
I think all those who knew Mike can honestly say he was a genuine, good-hearted individual. The short time I had the pleasure of knowing Mike, I knew 3 things to be true about him. 1, he was hilarious. 2, he had tremendous love for his partner Leanne. And 3, he loved pajama pants. I remember for a period during the summer months, Mike had set up a grill outside of his vehicle with a beach umbrella, beach lounge chairs, and would be out there grilling up some steaks. He was really living the good life. Mike, like many others, shared his path of life with addiction, which in the end Mike succumbed to. It is a disease that touches some of the best people to ever walk this earth, and it is not very forgiving. For those out there who do not understand addiction, Mike's passing will be just another statistic. But to us who see it and know these individuals that this disease affects, they are more than just their addiction or a statistic. They are people, our friends, and our family. Mike was a veteran, a son, a brother, a partner, and to many he was a friend. I can only hope Mike is sitting in his lounge chair, smiling down on all of us today, and can see how many people he impacted. I light a candle in honor of you.
One of our programs here at Father Bill's is to provide support and housing to veterans. They get a separate space and get different privileges.
We are here today to celebrate the life of Gordon, 1961-2018. Gordon was a resident of Quincy at the time of his passing, but had strong ties to Boston, where he grew up as a child, and where his children live today. Gordon had a great love for his children, and could never do enough for them. Gordon worked as a prison guard after getting out of the military, and stated he wished he was still working today. Gordon's health started to decline with his battle with diabetes. Gordon was successfully housed in our program for 9 years before his passing.
John was housed in our veterans program in Quincy for 5 years. He got along well with his housemates and stayed to himself much of the time. He enjoyed working and was part of our Work Express program as well as being employed at Target. He was a very private person and never shared any details of his illness up until his passing.
I light a candle in honor of you.
This is hard to listen to. My dad was a vet. He was in Afghanistan, shouldn't have been there. We know that now. He has major PTSD. He can't work because he's on disability too, with lots of pain. And I'm in college, trying to graduate, while he's calling me, needing stuff for the pain. He can't come out here, so I gotta go there. You tell me how to fit everything in between classes and rehearsals and being my dad's caregiver an hour and a half away.
4 years after I got back from Afghanistan, I lost my job as a deputy. I was no longer fit to carry my weapon due to my PTSD. I was told I could stay at my uncle's house, but when I got there, they said I would have to stay in their cold, unfinished basement in the corner. And to make it worse, they put up a blue tarp so when the kids came down, they couldn't see me. I would have rather stayed in my car than been treated like less than human.
We are here today to celebrate the life of Thomas, who graced this planet from 1960 to 2019. I only knew Tom for a short time, but he immediately impressed me as a man of great inner and outer strength. Tom served with distinction as an Army medical specialist from 1978 to 1981.
Until this play, he and I had never spoken about his homelessness after getting back from Afghanistan. I could see his whole body stiffen up when I asked if he would share with me.
His combat experiences impacted him deeply. After his time in the Army, Tom ultimately made some decisions that distanced him from his family. When I met him, his main goal was to reconnect with them and to make them proud. He worked hard in maintaining his sobriety and finding work as a carpenter.
I was told I needed to get a job even though I couldn't function due to my mental illness. Nothing I did or was going through mattered, and it was at that point I realized that no one was really gonna understand what I was going through. I just wish someone could have understood. I got a job at Target, but I just couldn't do it mentally.
Even during the interview, I could tell he had no idea then that I'd be having to meet with financial aid at my college every month because we had no money. And since I was taking care of him even during high school, my grades suffered. Meanwhile, he's holding the latest letter from the government that basically says, yes, we recognize you've been diagnosed with chronic pain and PTSD that makes it hard to hold any kind of steady job, but our records show that you can still work, so we cannot provide you any aid. It's like neither one of us can win.
Tom was once again driven to be stably housed, and I got to see firsthand how motivated he was as he began to make this happen. While at Father Bill's, Tom shared some wisdom with another veteran that he had received from his father. He said, "If you can do one thing in life, it is to never, ever forget your mother's birthday. You either show up, send a card, or you call. Whatever it is, just do it." I feel that this simple insight into familial kindness and love truly showed the kind of person Tom was, and he was happy to pass it on to whoever he could.
I had just gotten back from serving our country, and I couldn't even find hospitality in a family member's home.
Tom's life tragically ended while he was in the process of reclaiming it. But after meeting his family, I could see that his goodness lived on in them, and I truly believe they were proud of him.
I was treated like I was an addict, like I was lazy.
Hearing him say lazy was a punch to the gut. He tries so hard. How is effort looked at as lazy? Do people think I'm lazy? Is that what happens in these decisions? People see the outside and to decide who you are without knowing your story? And do I tell them? I've seen what happens when my dad shares his story. Absolutely nothing.
It was my pleasure to have met you, Tom, and I know that the veterans and everyone else you interacted with at Father Bill's are the better for it.
There's no one that could understand. I hated it so much. I preferred the shelter, and that's where I ended up.
Rest in peace, good sir.
Theater is the one place I feel good about myself.
I light a candle in honor of you.
I wrote all this today. That was nice. No, yes it was. I wrote all that yesterday. Who's handwriting is that? It's my handwriting. That's not your handwriting. Look at that. Are you stupid? Are you no? Come on. No, not fine. Look, that's me. I wrote
No, it's my blog. All right, Dave, let's go. What have we got so far? I gotta get back to my real job, you know? Which is? I'm a recovering high school teacher who writes for Fortune 500 companies now.
What Fortune 500 company would hire you?
Read what we've got, come on.
All right. We got Quarry Hills, this trash dump filled with polluted mud. Big house neck with girls whose dads will never let you date them.
So true. Damn, Stacy. Hey, it's whatever. I married her best friend.
Okay. Adam Shore, homes purchased from your parents. Lindsay Adams area, Bong King. Yeah.
Hey, what about that nasty alley between Mickey D's and Roxy's playground where all the homeless people live?
Animals and police and druggies.
Oh my. Hey, yo, they mess up my good vibe every time I try and get my discount gas and almost get killed when I just turn into the street.
Are you sure you're not trying to, hit one of them to collect our insurance?
How much money do you think I would get if I hit a bum?
Dude, police would probably pay you if you did it. Them and the cats next door, police don't even have to leave their building to make a living over there.
Oh, yeah. Alleyway is where police make tons of overtime.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna write that down right now.
All right, what else do we got here? We got, we gotta do this one. No, we already did Waterston.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know? Did you go to school?
Yes, I went to school with you.
I'm stressed about Laramie project. We go up next week. That's good.
Well, I'm really behind on homework, and I don't see how I'm going to catch up. All right, that's good.
Every time a landlord calls me back, I don't know about it because we cannot use our cell phones here. Even with having our cell phone, it's still hard. Think about if you're called back for something. We don't have it, and they want us out of here, but they make it impossible for us to get out. It's good.
Well, my housing voucher still hasn't come through. Thank you.
I'm irritated that I can't touch my fiance because of the no touching rule. No offense, but that's the main reason I like coming here. I mean, talking is great and all, but I can just sit here and hold her hand. You know what it feels like to not be able to hold the hand of the woman you love? I'm being forced to withhold affection from my fiance. That's neglect. They're forcing me to neglect my fiance. Thank you.
I want to do this story justice, the Laramie Project. And I want people to come and hear the pain and fears of the LGBTQ community. And I just hope it makes an impact. Thank you.
What's the question? How are you feeling today?
Well, I went in for a job interview, and they saw the Father Bill's address and told me I wasn't a very good fit. Thank you.
I'm 3 weeks sober today, guys. Thank you.
Good job, guys. Let's have a seat. Everyone seemed kind of down today. It's really cold outside, and I think the pressure of trying to live everyday life in school is just getting to everyone. When it's this cold out, Father Bill's has what they call stay-in days, where they let the guests stay for the afternoon instead of having them leave right after breakfast.
Breakfast, please. Hard bagels.
The only problem with that is they spend all day together in the dining hall. It's not a large space.
And the TV is always playing Law and Order all day. I mean, we're already living depressing lives. You gotta have that on all day?
I don't understand why they can't just let us stay in the dorms.
We're meeting in the same space that many of them have to sleep. Lisa said to me once, you know, I can't escape the feeling that we're invaders, intruding on a private space of theirs. For today, who is someone you would like to confront and thank?
I think I'd like to thank my parents. They were really supportive during college, and I knew people who didn't have their parents' support, and college is hard without your parents' support.
Yeah. I think I'd like to thank my Uncle Chris. He died of Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I would like to confront my mom's boyfriend, who was abusive to her.
I would like to thank my friend from high school who talked me out of committing suicide. Confront myself, I think. My junior year of high school, I would tell myself to get out of that relationship which was harmful.
Tom McHugh, a real asshole in high school. Insisted on us calling him Barry.
Why?
A bully, yeah. Man, I would love to beat him up like he used to beat me up. Man, I would love that confrontation.
Call me up, man. I'll help you.
You got my back.
Yeah, I got you.
My Uncle Jack, I think. He was a really nice guy, and he killed himself. He had a wife and 4 kids. He used to have cookouts at his house all the time. I'd ask him what was going on, and if there was anything that I could have done.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to talk about people I confront, but people I thank, yeah. I think a lot of people, but not like people I know. Like, I think of customer service people who do such a good job and no one cares. All the people at Jamba Juice and Chick-fil-A. Oh, and it wasn't a person, but I got my very own bunny when I was 5 years old. It was the very first animal I got to call my own. Her name was Coco. She was kind of like my emotional support animal, even when I was only a child. I don't know, just the feeling of being able to call something your own felt like a really big deal to me. She thought she was pregnant once, and she ripped out her fur. But it was okay, it was okay. She was the cutest little thing and brought me so much joy, even though she was so small. One day, a ladder fell on her back legs, and they couldn't fix her. So she died. I wish I could talk to her and thank her for being my friend. I still think about her every time I see a bunny run across the grass. And because of her, I love bunnies. I mean, how could you not?
Well, for me, it's my dad. Circa 2001, he witnessed 9/11, and that's when he decided to go to Afghanistan. I was 4. I wish I could have begged him not to go.
I thank the Red Sox and whoever invented the beach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God or universe, doesn't matter. You know, let me stop giving the credit to somebody else. I thank the beach.
Look, sir, I'm not like those other people, all right? Those people are crazy. I got a gift that God gave me after all the shit that I've been through. You know, I was the highest paid medium in Boston until I felt it impressed upon myself to give to people who don't have money, like Jesus did. So that's why I'm out here. I'm not doing it because I'm nuts, and I know I'm nuts. My aunt threw me in a mental institution when my mom died. She didn't want the responsibility, so that was her solution. So that's why I'm out here. You know, I'm not gonna lie though. I got addicted to drugs when I was 15. Maybe if someone had just cared enough to help me after my mom's death, but no one did. Shit, I'm here because of Jesus. I know that, so I know I gotta be the random angel that other people need. No one was an angel to me, so I gotta be what other people weren't.
Hey, get out of my face.
Do you know that you are talking to an angel? You are pushing away someone who was like Jesus. Is that what you want to do?
What I want is for you to leave me in peace.
I'm trying to bring you peace, man. Jesus has brought you here today, and I think you should listen to what I have to say through him.
Hey, get off me.
Hey, I was molested as a kid and then raped when I was 13 by a neighbor, and you think you can stop me? You think a little slap like that's gonna stop Jesus? Man, you do not get it. I will turn the other cheek. Look, do it again.
Oh yeah, alright, that's it, yeah?
Hey, I've been abused my whole life. God chooses the ones that can take it.
Oh yeah?
I can
You think you can take it?
but I will not take it today.
Why are there so many stairs to take just to do laundry? I hate doing laundry. It takes so long.
What I would really like to know is how I ended up carrying one of your baskets, Emily.
Yeah, you did it because you love me, and I may have gotten a little behind in laundry.
You think?
You think? Come on.
Don't you just love laundry day? Yeah, I love how long it takes and how my back feels afterwards. Hey guys, let's get this done so I can watch the Red Sox kick some ass.
It's 2 in the morning. Guess who's not sleeping tonight?
Oh, guys, I might not stay up with you the whole night. I have an early class in the morning.
Are you kidding? So do we all do. Come on.
My laundry basket's empty. Do you know what that means?
It means you threw your clothes on the floor.
Well, duh, not the obvious. Britt, do you have any guesses?
It means I gotta go to sleep.
Whoa, the room looks so weird through these holes. I bet this makes you extra dizzy. You guys should try it.
Guys, no. I gotta do my laundry. I'll pass. Thank you.
I think I'm with Jasmine on this one.
Come on, Britt, one time.
Okay.
Guys, come on. All right.
See, I told you it was fun.
Oh, that was a bad idea.
I'm in. Let's go.
Okay, let's pass some time by. I have an idea. Get in the basket, and I'll roll you down the hallway.
Okay, Jen, get in the basket.
No, I have a better idea.
Well, tell us what it is.
Well, it begins with you, and it ends with going down.
What?
Gotcha.
Oh, it's on
No,
now.
you're so
yes,
dead.
yes,
No, no. You are dead. You are dead at this. I will defeat you.
See, wasn't this fun?
Okay, Jen, that was fun.
You guys, look. Our laundry is almost done.
That's right.
We're having fun.
I love getting to laugh. I usually hate laundry, but today I hated it a little less.
Can I go to sleep now?
I wish people would understand what I go through walking around town looking for a job with a backpack.
I wish people knew the real me, not an alcoholic or a drug user, just a lost soul.
If my family could see the footsteps I've taken, I move forward into the unknown, towards my end.
I am human. I am kind. I am friendly. I am wise.
You've got to be kidding me.
Again.
We left Laramie at about 7 in the evening. On my way to Denver, I looked in my rearview mirror to take one last look at the town.
And I will speak with you. And I trust that if you write a play of this, that you say it right. You need to do your best to say it correct.
And in the distance, I could see the sparkling lights of Laramie, Wyoming.
Man, that was legit. That was seriously really good.
You guys are so awesome. I mean, that was the real deal.
Very powerful.
Man, I told everyone you were serious.
So sad. Such a sad, sad story, but you all did so good.
I am so glad I'm in Story Circle so I can be part of the group that came here.
Man, I just can't believe how good that was.
I'm really proud of you guys.
Listen, men suck, okay? No, seriously. Every one of them I got in my life promised me something. Promised they'd take care of me. And look, even today I got a black eye. No, seriously, this guy was my cousin. I mean, I went over to his house because he said I could crash there for a while and...
You probably heard of my ex-husband. It's been all over Facebook. They even did a news article about my story. That's where it all began. He impersonated a police officer. It happened in Taunton. He would park outside of Starbucks and stalk this woman, and he was into this fake cop routine for years, but I never thought much of it. People blamed me for not stopping him sooner, but how was I supposed to know he was lying about everything? They painted me out to be this crazy lady, and it didn't help that I had bright blue hair at the time. The media can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. Maybe he did it because it felt like it gave him power or the face of an American icon. I don't know. I can't imagine the fear that this woman must have felt. My heart truly goes out to her. Listen, girls, men suck, okay? And domestic abuse isn't talked about enough. You don't always get to hear about all the emotional and physical abuse and how hard it is to leave. I found out the whole thing on TV. My friend called me up and told me to look at the local news. And when he would leave, I had a feeling something was going on, but wasn't sure. And on top of all of that, I have a spinal cord disability, syringomyelia. I face challenges every day surrounding that. And at that time, I was balancing taking care of my needs and my son's. I have two amazing boys, Ethan and Zach. They are what I'm most proud of. Ethan's birthday is December 9th, and Zach is on October 13th. Man, I love those boys. The Quincy Animal Shelter is right next door, and I've seen the way people treat those animals. Better than us. You lose human connection. Literally. We can't touch in here, and no one will touch you out there. What I wouldn't give for just a hug.
Well, this is my third time homeless. I've had a very difficult life, and I'll do best to tell more of my story without crying. I'll start with my first husband, who went AWOL from the Army. She was shipped off to Rhode Island. At the time, I was pregnant and had a 6-year-old son. We eventually reunited in Florida when he was released. We stayed in this one-room apartment that was way too small for the 4 of us. That's all we had. Unfortunately, there was no room to cook in the apartment. We eventually moved to Massachusetts and filed for divorce. That's when I found out he was meeting women and getting them pregnant so he claimed his children on his taxes. My sons, they deserve better than that. And after him, I went through a cycle of being homeless and meeting a new man. He would get married and then things would just get bad again. I've been through 3 bad marriages. My last husband, he left when I got breast cancer. He left when I got sick. That's horrible. I've had horrible experiences with men, and I hope you girls do not have to go through that.
I got married really young. I was married for 16 years. Then I had a fiance who was mentally and physically abusive. I lived with his family, and when I was finally able to tell the cops I needed help, his mother-in-law kicked me out. I have no choice but to be at Father Bill's now. Most of the women in here come from abusive situations at the hands of men. My brother and I, we were best friends. I mean, we were like frickin' crack. And I brought him back 6 times. 7th time I wasn't there. Yeah, but I have Tammy though. That's my bunkmate. And if you don't say goodbye to me, I will find you and kick your ass.
Hope to see you try.
I didn't know. I didn't know I was broken until I started to heal. Tammy's right, you gotta kiss a couple frogs to find a prince. I'm doing much better now that I don't have to go through any of that. And that's it. That's me.
Spare some change?
Sure.
You didn't put anything in there.
Yes, I did. I put hope in there. Hope. Don't spend it all in one place, Raggy.
Spare some change?
No, sorry, I don't have any change.
Got any change?
No, sorry. Can you spare some change? Change? Ah, I don't have any change.
Change?
No!
Change! Spare some change.
Leave me alone, I don't have any change!
All right, God bless you, sir.
Oh, now I feel bad. Here! Ah.
Oh, everyone thinks they know all about homeless people, why they're in the shelter. Oh, it's their own fault they're in there. I was one of them. I'm not proud to admit it, but oh yeah, I was an expert on homelessness until I started working in a shelter and getting to know these people. You know, I realized I didn't know a thing.
When I heard the staff talk about the memorial service and how they're honoring the lives of people that most people had forgotten about, I couldn't help but think of the Transgender Day of Remembrance. So many transgender people are ignored or blocked out in life, and so they don't get funerals. Or worse, they're murdered and no one talks about them after their deaths. No one remembers them.
Now I'm old, but I'm still learning. And one of the things I like about working here at Father Bill's is that they're always learning and growing too. I'll give you an example with this transgendered woman.
I have friends who are trans, and they're some of the most beautiful people I have ever met. I have one friend whose parents are super accepting, and he is such a bright light in people's lives, now that he's been able to really embrace himself. And my other friend, his parents don't accept him, and he's worried about graduating from college and having no place to go home to. Where's home for him? And if he becomes homeless, what shelter will take him in? And what dorm will they house him in? And if the answer is no place, then is he out on the streets?
So we had this guy come into the shelter, okay? And he's all, oh, you know, I'd prefer to be in the women's dorm because I identify as a woman. And I'm like, no way. There is no way a guy can be in a women's dorm. But Father Bill's managers didn't listen to me. I was completely against it. But you know what? It ended up being the best thing.
According to the National Alliance to End Homelessness's 2018 Demographic Data Project, only 44% of the homeless trans population was sheltered. That number was even lower for non-binary people. Only 18% of the homeless non-binary population was sheltered. The rest were living on the streets.
And that's what I like about Father Bill's, you know? I'm proud to be a part of that. I grew in that moment because of that. Because of her. See? I told you I was learning.
Oh, Miss Nikki. She was this big, beautiful black woman. Oh, and she wore these long robes. Oh, she was so nice. And trust me, she was big, but if you'd have ever met her, you never would have thought of her as a man, no. She was a woman.
Excuse me, I need to use the restroom.
Go in the dorms like everybody else. Back there, bathrooms are back there.
I prefer to use the single-stall restroom up here, if that's okay.
I can't give you special privileges. I'm sorry.
I really think everyone will understand. I will go right now if you want me to. I've been drinking my cranberry juice, so I'm good and regular.
You spill it, you clean it up, I write you up. Do you want a suspension?
Just might be worth it this time.
What's the problem?
Oh, John, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Can you give Miss Nikki the key and let her use this restroom?
Where's home when you have no family?
All right, Jim. Where's the bag? You know we gotta go through it if you want a bed. I don't have my bags because you guys took them, and I don't have a bed because you guys took that too. You had loose items spilling on your bed. You know the rules. Right. I'm sorry that one morning I couldn't get all the crap back into my bag before I had to be out in 10 minutes, after waiting in line for the John for half an hour. It was more than one time, Jim. You get 3 warnings. Files show that not only did you have loose items spilling on your bed twice, but you had an item under your bed once too. Let's not do this, okay? Geez, you guys make the biggest deal of the smallest things. Here I am, great worker, trying to do things right. Meanwhile, there's druggies that get treated better than I do. You're not doing anything about him. It's a wet shelter. You can come in high or drunk and still get a bed. That's not gonna change. And last I remember, weren't you in his place last week? Hey, listen, I'm just in after a long day of reading and looking for jobs online at the library, right? I'm just trying to get a bed so I can get some sleep. You're the one making the big deal. We're not doing this. Doing what? All right, I understand I'm not getting a bed. I'm gonna go to the dining hall, I'll grab a mat and find a place on the floor. Hood off. You've gotta be kidding me, all right? I've never snuck contraband in here. These lights are killing my eyes and I have a splitting
headache, and I just want to lie down and get some sleep, all right? Better lower your voice, Jim, or I'll have to call your friends, the cops. It's been a long night, and it's only 10 o'clock. You got a headache? Take some aspirin. So give me some aspirin. Yeah, we're compromising. Good. Take the hood off, and I'll get you some aspirin. You've got to be shitting me. What are you doing? There's no water in that cooler. I'm gonna go to the dining hall and get some from the one in there. You can't do that. Cooler's already been put away. So how am I supposed to take these? I'll get somebody to go in there in a minute and refill it, okay? When? As soon as Ralph gets back from dorm rounds. I'll have him go in there. Why don't you just go in there yourself? I can't leave the bubble unattended. You know this, Jim. Stop this right now. I'm not doing anything. My next step for you, Jim, is your friends next door. Police don't even have to drive over to get over here. They can just walk right over and walk you right back. Where do you want to spend the night tonight? What's the difference? It's a prison either way. Oh my Lord, Jim, get up. Jim, I'm not joking. Get off the floor. Just waiting for my water, Warden. Jim, my hand is inches from the phone. Get up. That's it. I'm done. Ah, and here we go. Classic Father Bills. Get an ambulance for the druggies and cops for the alkies. Father Bill's Ubers. Bring 'em on. Meanwhile, headache is still killing me, by the way. Just wanted to lie down. That's all I wanted to do. No one knows how to be human beings anymore in this world. Yeah. Maybe the police station will at least have some water. Ah, here they are. How you guys doing? How you doing? No, I don't need your assistance. I'm good. I don't need help. I'm not drunk. I'm just in pain. Stop. Okay, yeah. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Take it easy, all right? See you tomorrow, Warden.
All right, you are hereby sentenced, Jim and Bubble Person, to appear in court before Judge Judy and receive your sentence. All right, where's Judge? You know what? Never mind. Rule change. I, as the president and founder of the Constitution of Father Bills, do sentence you myself. To what? All right, just give it a minute. I'm thinking, all right. You, gotta dig the hair out of the shower drains. And you, gotta clean the shit off the floor. All right, let's get out of here. All right, all right, let's go.
I was married for 10 years. My wife and I both drank a lot and drugged a lot. And it was pretty good times for most of the time, and shit just got out of hand. My wife left me, and my life just did a giant tailspin. You know, I'd done drugs and smoked weed before, but after that, every drink and every drug I could get my hands on. My family didn't want anything to do with me. My father's a recovery drugger, so he didn't want to be staying with me. I needed a drink just to drown my fucking sorrows. So I wound up at Father Bill's. I play music in the streets to support my alcohol habit, and I get loaded just to escape the nightmares. My older brother, he's 10 years older than me. When I was real little, he got a keyboard. I used to sit outside his room and listen to what he was playing, Bach or whatever. I didn't want to bother him, but I'd listen. Then I'd run over to my little Yamaha and try and imitate what he was doing. Then when I was 12, I got a guitar. I started listening to the radio and playing, you know. Now, I can't read music worth a damn, but I learned from listening. Music fixed me. Well, it didn't fix me. It helped to fix me. I needed it. And I need it. Bob Dylan, too. His music saves me. The lyrics just take me to a different place.
I'm overwhelmed at the thought of leaving these humans today. I just want to see Josh one more time and tell him that he's beautiful and that he's worthy of love. But I'm afraid that even if I had the words, I wouldn't have the strength to share them with him. He reminds me that addiction isn't always beatable. If you've been an addict since you were 12, that's your life and that's okay. Getting clean and staying clean isn't always going to be a solution. But that doesn't mean that someone is unlovable. You can still see the beauty if you look.
I didn't know what to expect from my alma mater when this project began. I graduated from E&C in 2004, and I've seen many E&C students come through here for internships or to volunteer, but I wasn't sure what this Theater for Social Justice group was going to do, if the guests would want to talk or what the students would see. But I have to say, you guys got closer to them than any group that's been through here, even than the staff. We work real hard at getting the staff to empathize with the guest situations, but it's not always the easiest task. But you guys came in and bonded with them almost immediately. I don't think I've seen that before.
So I have some good news. I finally got the funding for housing, and Eric and I got married. We just went to Quincy Courthouse, and I would have liked to have a real ceremony, but when you're homeless, you don't get the same opportunities as everybody else.
I'm moved in. I don't have any furniture, but I'm in.
Guys, I have a bus to catch to get to work, but I'm gonna take the next one so I can be in here for your last day. You guys are great. I love what you're doing. My final thoughts are these. I'm working on my inner demons. I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm working. You know, I'm a homeless woman who drinks and makes an ass out of myself sometimes. But I'm off the drugs. I'm 10 years sober right now. You know, I'm working on not swearing as much, but if I'm gonna be honest, I kinda like that part of myself. You know, I'm bipolar and I have ADHD, but I'm a grown woman and I'm trying to get my act together. I should be on stage. You all have acting classes?
So many.
You know, I'm working on loving myself. My biggest problem right now is the abandonment issue. I mean, there are days I get mad and I go all ham. You see me, you know? You know, what I've learned to do with my madness is I put it into my creative stories. I write stories. Of course. You know, let me tell you something. I gotta go. My bus is gonna be here. Never give up on your dreams. I don't care if a trumpet chicken comes over, runs you over, you are tarred and feathers are in your ears and your nose, and there's a cupcake on the ground, and it's been there for days. Eat that shit. You know, who cares? Eat it because you're starving, and never stop going after your dreams. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, when are you doing this play? I want to be in it.
I just want to say that I usually don't have family that comes to see me in shows. But when you guys came to the Laramie Project and then to Romeo and Juliet, it was like you were my family. You came to see me and stayed to talk with me. I didn't know I'd be getting a family when I signed on this project.
Life sucks most of the time. But last week, when we saw your play, it did.
God talks to me. When I think of doing stand-up comedy, he knew I needed a stage name. Your name will be Gabriel. But my name's Rick. Your name will be Gabriel. But my name's Rick. Your name will be Gabriel. Okay, Gabriel. But what's my last name? Your name will be Gabriel. Okay. Then he kind of faded away, and I said, okay, I guess my name's Gabriel.
I miss my kids. You guys are my kids now. You know, I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she's in college, and I told her, I don't need to talk to you as much. I got new kids now. She was pissed.
Working in the field of homelessness can feel like a snowstorm at times. I mean, you work so hard to get 5 people housed, and that same night, 10 new people come in. But every once in a while, someone will come back after being housed, tell you you helped them. They remember you, and they might bring you a little gift. I keep every one of those gifts. They're reminders on the stormy days that you matter. I've got this little box that I keep on my desk that I just look at all the time, and I think, they might not be able to see it right now, but we're trying to help.
When I think of all of you doing this play, I think of a line of angels in America. We won't die secret deaths anymore.
When's the next play? I want to be there. Also, if you ever need help building set or anything tech, I can help.
That would be great. The fall musical's going to be Titanic.
Oh, Titanic! I love that show. That's a big tech show. I've worked on it twice at other theater companies. Let me know if you need any help. Oh, hey, you ever let any outsiders audition?
Yeah, we definitely do.
Maybe this will be my chance to get up on stage again.
We should all audition. Wouldn't that be fun?
Do you have live music for shows? Nope. I can play piano.
I don't care who plays me in your play, but I'd want it to be someone who really exaggerates, has a good time with me. Someone funny, like Roseanne Barr or someone.
Shine the light on the bubble, people. That's what I say.
I could write a play myself, and if I did, it would be a comedy, like The Office. I like bringing laughter to people. I love laughter, so that's what I do. Because every night I come back to this shelter, it's a tragedy. Hey, I'm auditioning for Titanic, so I'll see you guys this week. Yes.
When your children are ripped from your arms, you hurt. And coming here every week and seeing you kids, and yes, I know, blah, 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 you're adults, but you're really just kids. And coming here every week and seeing you guys, it's healing for me.
I mean, I cleared my Tuesday mornings every single week to come to your story circles. It's been really nice having a place and people you can talk to about anything, say anything, and not get judged for it. It's been great. When are you guys coming back?
Nope. It's Sunday night. Popcorn lady night.
Do you have Catherine Hepburn? Very interesting.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young.
I had a great time. You know, it was an experience that I won't forget, that's for sure. Being a play about everything and being part of it, and, you know.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for.
When I first started up with the story circles, I didn't really know what to look for or what to expect. And I was pleasantly surprised at the interactions with all the students from ENC and for Father Bill's. It was a positive experience. I would definitely recommend to anybody that's thinking of going to the second group to definitely get into it.
May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young.
It was interesting learning the different acting classes that they use, the different exercises that they use, and you know, it was a lot of fun.
Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be.
I think a lot of it too is therapeutic for us because we were able to talk it out and realize that whatever brought us there at the end of the day, you know, we were all homeless, and that's where we all bonded on a common level.
Forever young. Forever young. May you stay.
I really
really enjoyed the passion that the students have for not just this subject, but theater in itself. Like Romeo and Juliet was fantastic. I loved seeing that show, and Titanic was great. I just really enjoyed being part of it.
May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful, may your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young.
It was really great meeting the students at ENC. I got to know them all, and over time I became very close with a few of them. It's been a really good experience to get active back in the world.
Always be busy, may your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful, may your song always be sung, and may you stay
It was so nice to work with the kids because they're around my kids' age, and that piece that was missing while I was at Father Bill's is they filled that void, and it was awesome. They're all my girls and boys, and my children are a little jealous.
I got it. May you stay forever young.
You guys obviously truly care about us, and it means a lot to us. It means a lot that people care about people in our situation.
Thank you all again for coming. As I said at the beginning, we're going to transition directly into our panel talk back. We
head out, please feel free to do so quietly. Those of you who can stay, thank you very much. If you are one of my panelists, Taylor, Holly, G-Fred. I know we also have other Karen still here. Karen, thank you so much for being here. And John. We also met them in our show. Thank you guys so much for being here and sharing your stories with us. So just to kind of introduce you to those who are next to me, Tammy, you met also in the show, Bobby, and G-Fred. And Taylor Santi, who is the rehousing manager. He's up with body of Lisa over here. General question, if you guys wouldn't mind jumping in and answering. I'll just turn it over to you in a moment. You guys are thinking about questions or comments you'd like to share about the show as you're listening. So we started this project back in January of 2019, and all of you guys kind of played a different role in the whole project. And I'd love to hear about what your experience was going through the whole year, from Taylor hearing about the project and wondering what the heck we were going to do. To Tammy and Fred, like knowing we were there and might be portraying your stories, and Holly being in the class listening and then writing the play and directing it. Just what was your general experience the whole year? Who would like to start?
Sure. I wasn't able to attend this story circle until the very end of this semester, although I heard about it every night from Eric in particular. I knew that acting was a big part of my life in the past. So I ended up able to make it to the final story circle, and also saw these students on stage in Romeo and Juliet. And a couple of visits, they heard my story, a good part of it anyways, and invited me to audition for Titanic, which I did. Great things about the whole experience, but one of the most positive things was it kept me out late every night, so to avoid a lot of these shenanigans about the bill. People ask me how you survive and places like that, and I say spend as little time as possible. You know, just been trying to get busy with my life. Mobility impaired, so I don't get around too well, but so I plan my day and what I can do, but I keep myself busy. These guys, TV station, but I'm really impressed with what I saw this evening. You portrayed the situation of homelessness in Queens very well.
Like I said last night when I first found out about the story circle, I was really excited for this one. It really helps to break up the monotony of being homeless, because you basically are doing the same thing every day. And then when I got to meet the kids, as you heard from my character, not having my children around, this was a wonderful outlet for me to kind of like how Maureen put it very nicely, it helped to fill the void of missing your children while you are going through being homeless. And what these children have pulled off, I spoke to Megan's brother and another set of parents, how proud all of you should be of these kids to pull off something beyond my wildest dreams that I never saw coming out of story circles. I mean, it was a lot of fun. You guys certainly brightened our days once a week, and it was a welcome change in our lives. I can't say thank you.
When Nancy came to us and asked us to do a play, I was like, absolutely. I mean, at first I didn't know what to think of it. I just wanted the stories to be portrayed in the light in the guest view, but also the staff. And so I think it was beyond what I would imagine that this would be tonight. So you guys did really good.
I feel like I don't know how to explain it. Like, gaining like another family has been so amazing. Like, you have people you connect with every week who listen, and you listen to them too, and to just be there for each other, and then also to be a part of the shaping and molding of something as important as this has just been an honor. I feel so grateful for this opportunity, and I feel so grateful to know everyone at Father Bill's. It's been great.
I don't know if Justin is still there. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Justin. It was really wonderful to have kind of the reunion on the beach in January. But yeah, I just thought that video was just so beautiful, and I just wanted to say thank you publicly for putting your time and effort into that to bring all these relationships to life. So quickly to the students, raise your hand if you were part of the story circles back in the spring. Yep. And then those of you who wrote the play, what do you do the same? Good. Yeah. So just to kind of let you know that this has been a part of our curriculum, the new curriculum for the Theater for Social Justice program. Through an applied theater class, they would go once a week to Father Bill's, run story circles and theater activities. One you saw, obviously, the process. But one of the things we didn't get to show in the play was after every story circle, we would develop scenes with the guests. We would sometimes reenact some of the scenes that they had told us about from their lives, which was an exercise called playback theater, lots of tableau work, lots of integration of music, and one of their favorite days, they love to tell me, was the day I wasn't there. They just painted and listened to music, and so we tried to also incorporate all of that into the play, some of those activities. So in the fall, the students came back, and from a lot of their field notes, they wrote everything that you're seeing. The monologues, they brought in all the media clips. We knew we wanted to try to bring forth some of the evidence for why we created the stigmas about homeless people that we have. A lot of it's coming from the media. So we knew we wanted to incorporate all of that, and then I put all the pieces together to create the play. We invited the staff and the guests to a read-through in December, made sure it was what everybody felt comfortable with having up on the stage, and then we launched it into auditions and rehearsals, and we've been doing it for 6 weeks. So reciting all of that feels like a very short amount of time to get all this up on the speak. But I just am so grateful to Polly and all the students for bringing this to life. So I just wanted to take a moment and turn it over to you and see if you have any specific questions for any of the guests or Taylor or the students. Yes.
Something that I noticed was you guys were able to find the right balance of portraying not just the guests, but the people in the bubble, per se. So how, for the writers, how difficult is it to, because I know that Eric said shine the light on the bubble people, so that tells me that there's not a stigma, but like, there's that, so I guess what I'm trying to say is how do you find the right balance of portraying how the guests see the people in the bubble and how they actually are?
I think one of the things that we kept thinking of was we met with the staff all the time, or at least talked with them enough to know that their hearts are just so big. They're so big, And of course there are things that like happen that like that sometimes aren't fun. So a lot of it was like, how do we write this in a way that's also honoring the guest stories while also honoring the staff? Because both people, like the staff really, really care, and the guests are in a very, very vulnerable space. So a lot of it was caution and writing and rewriting and care.
Taylor, I wonder if you can speak a little bit about what it felt like to know we were also going to be talking about staff. Because I know that was a concern towards the writing of the script.
Yeah, I think because there are situations where the staff and the guests are put in these difficult positions. And so of course there's rules of the shelter. We have to have rules of the shelter because our number one priority is safety. So if we don't have rules, then it's just safety is going to be put at risk. So we have to make sure that there's rules in place. We understand that for some of the guests it's frustrating for those rules. And so we knew that, yeah, there's going to be difficulty with the staff and guests at times, but hoping that the guests understand that it's for their safety ultimately. And so I think the staff was just a little worried that they could be portrayed in a negative light in those type of situations, but they also understand like it's their reality too. And the staff wanted them to hear that side because it is part of their reality that those staff are human beings, and so if there's an escalated situation, sometimes they can be escalated as well, although we can do as many de-escalation trainings and things like that, but when you're in the moment, it's a lot different. So, but I think that Holly said it right, where there was a good balance between both.
We did, just so you know, Justin, we did run a story circle with staff so we could hear their personal journeys and what Father Rose meant to them, so that we ensured that we told the truth from both perspectives. The complexity is there, and I hope that was clear. Nobody's good or bad, we're just kind of stuck in a system, trying to make it work.
I have a question for the students. Now that you've had this experience, how is this going to change the way you look at your future plans? Or has it changed some of your future plans, or how is that happening?
Lisa, you want to say?
Yeah. I wish you guys, Josh just left, I wish you guys had gotten a chance to meet Josh. Josh is, you saw him up on the camera with the guitar. He is one of the tenderest, purest humans I have ever been privileged to meet. His story is heartbreaking, and yet he lives his life with a smile on his face and creates music with his days, and that's one of the most beautiful things I got to experience as a student. And so when a position became available at Father Bill's, I was kind of deciding between two different jobs, and Josh just stuck in my mind. And I think that one of the most heartbreaking things for me is to recognize that so many of the stories that the humans at Father Bill's hold are never going to be heard unless people like us, who maybe aren't in the same situation, open our ears and open our eyes and open our hearts. That's it.
For me, it just drives me forward more towards my goals, and either for social justice and criminal justice. I just want to fight for justice, really. I mean, that's not obvious, but it really just being part of this project has really driven me more towards that, and I just gained a deeper understanding of just the issues and how it doesn't, you could just not even be doing anything. Like, I mean, Jim, he just, somebody hit him with a truck, and just because of the circumstances, he didn't get Social Security benefits. And it's the same with a lot of people in homeless shelters and started this project, I just felt really called to just set aside part of my time money just so that I have, because a lot of people my age and any age will say that they don't have money because they don't have it. And that's like, it's valid, but it's also not, because, I don't know. But for me, I just felt very strongly called that, like, I'm already setting aside this 10% for God, and Jesus said that if you look out for the least of these, you're looking out for me. And so, that's what I do, because, like, you know, you can, because making meaningful connections is important, but I feel like also giving monetarily means something a little bit more. You know, so you can just be like, I will support you with my money, I will support you with my time, and I will treat you like a human being. And that's what I've done. I set aside part so that I can always, if I see people, I can always go over and be like, here's $5. You're loved, God cares about you, I care about you. And so you don't have to walk by people in the street because they need that.
There's so much I could say about this, and I don't even know where to start. I've been worked many institutions, so I know what it's like to be a staff person and have people have power over people. And I've watched people abuse that power in some of the institutions when I was much younger. So it was really interesting to see the way you balance that in the art. It was really amazing. I was like, oh, the choreography. Oh, there was one scene. I was like, wow, that's great. Who did that? Who was the choreographer? It really was very recognizable. I was like, wow, look at that. And so I was struggling in my head with the complexity of it, from the artistic pieces, which were very impressive folks, to the realism and the humanity. This is good.
Now that you've put this together in the powerful statement you had, what is the next plan to keep the momentum moving for what you've done?
I'm going to listen to God on that one. I will say the last time that we did a show where it felt like we couldn't close it because it was too important. It's 5 years now. The Homelessness Project's been touring. It's a lot of work to make that work. And I feel like thinking about it really scares me, but I also know that this is a really important piece. So I don't have an answer for you, but I also say, I just want to say I don't deny that something like this is important and needs to happen.
Right.
It needs to go further. We did have actually somebody from a Boston theater company that does social justice work reached out to me after seeing the play last night and said that she wants to meet because this play would be really important beyond just here.
Absolutely.
So
take the meeting.
But we also, QATV was here tonight filming, so we know too that there will be access to people seeing it. Because really for us, it's about making sure these stories are heard and dispelling stigmas, bringing awareness, letting people know what Father Bills does besides just being a shelter. I think that it was fascinating to me to even discover that they have housing managers, right? We think of a shelter as just here's a place to get a bed for the night, but a lot of, even the guests we're hearing from now in the story circles we're running, phrases like when I chose to finally work on my homelessness, I knew to come to Father Bills. And I think of that phrase of choosing to work on homelessness for them means I'm going to come here and get help with housing and not just continue to try to make it in the world. So we know that we want to at least continue to bring awareness to these stories, and thank you for believing that it should go further.
How many housing units would be needed in the South Shore to end homelessness on the South Shore? What are the impediments?
John, yes, as our CEO is in the
Sorry, I'm John from Father Bill's Mainspring, the CEO and president of Father Bill's. And first, I just want to say, before I answer that question, is thank you so much to Nancy and the students. I came to Father Bill's right out of college 23 years ago and worked side by side with Father Bill McCarthy for 10 years before he passed away. Sister Miriam, Pastor Wismar, who's still alive and on our board. Interfaith leaders came together in this community over 30 years ago because people were sleeping outside, and you guys have just done a tremendous job. Every day for my 20 years, there's always been rumors. There's always been pressures to shut down Father Bill's place. And you guys are doing a great job of just making sure that we're telling the stories of our neighbors and our friends, our family members who struggle. And so tonight is just a very emotional night for myself that's committed my life since college to be a part of such a great, organization. So thank you. To the question there is, it's a hard question to know what it would take. For the last 20 years at Father Bill's in Quincy, we've served anywhere from 900 to 1,000 unduplicated people a year. But we average, in my 23 years, that unduplicated count has pretty much stayed in that area. The number one reason why people come to us, no matter if they have a mental health, or substance abuse issue, or physical disability, elderly is our fastest growing population right now. When I came to Father Bill's, young adults, 18 to 21-year-olds, in 1996, when I got there, we served 12 young adults. Last year, we served over 250 kids. So we've developed 550 units of permanent housing in the South Shore. We would have to, we have to commit to a mixed income strategy in the South Shore to make sure that people that are 0 to 30% median income have units of housing. We have to take care of our fixed income, our disabled, our elderly people. And so again, how many units? It's hard to say because there's so many people that are doubled up and that just aren't homeless. But what we do know is that the housing we've created that are just targeted for 30% of the people that come in. 70% of the people that come to Father Bill's only stay just for a few months. They get back on their feet and they move on. 30% of the people really need that supportive, deep housing subsidy and support. We can bring it to scale. It's not impossible. We can end homelessness. We know we can. It would probably take another 200 to 300 units of housing right now that we could do it, because 70% of the people don't need that deep subsidy. They just need a little bit of support. We need to bring it to scale, and we need the political will.
The decision to use the map of Quincy, which I remember being horrified when I first saw that floating around the internet, and also very convicted about it as a homeowner in Quincy. West Quincy does have the best Quincy street, by the way. How did that come about, the decision to use that, the decision to sort of play on Quincy lifers and how people see the different neighborhoods in this town, which as an outsider, I've always been very curious about, but it's also helped me reframe how I think about, say, Brockton, where I work, and when I drive through, when I first started working there, I would see the same thing in my brain, and then I saw the map of Quincy and was like, don't say that about my town, and I'd be like, I do the same thing in Brockton, So again, very convicting personally, and the way you brought that together. So Polly, was that you? Was that something the class found and worked on together?
I was actually, I was the one who found it. It was during my senior seminar class. I was researching Quincy for the basis of this project. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Kevin Glennon. I found it under Google. I found this map. And I wrote like basically the skeleton. I know it was like tweaked a bit to like fit the play. I just thought it was interesting, like to find such a unique thing made for like stereotypes that was just so clear and blatant. And like, yeah, I just thought like if we are talking about like people who like to know more about like the area, like we gotta use the map.
Yeah, I mean, so right at the beginning of the semester when we talked about what the structure of the play would be, we laid out all the themes that were coming out of the story circles and how they connected to Quincy and how they connected to ENC and how they connected to the Christian community so that we would know kind of what would be best for our audience. And one of the things that came up a lot was space, right? The space inside Father Bill's, the space around Father Bill's, the space that the students are dealing with on campus, and then the neighborhoods of Quincy. We label things here, right? And we were fascinated by the idea of naming spaces, and even within Father Bill's, right? The bubble, the resource room that we all joke around has no resources in. Every little space within this building had a title, and we do the same thing in our city. So we talked about that way at the beginning, that we wanted to somehow kind of make that the context of the show without making it like a theme that we had to name all the time. And so when Polly was doing all the research about the history of Quincy and homelessness in Quincy and what Mayor Pope was doing with development and just all of the stuff that's happening, she pulled up this map. And I remember the four of us that were in the class, we're all like, read the next one, read the next one. And we just thought, we've got to dramatize people who make fun of other people. And labeling is such an easy way to other people. And when we looked at our label, right, Nazis is right there in the middle. You can look this map up. We didn't make any of this up. We have been labeled just like the area that Father Bill's is in. So when we decide we want to think about like, oh, well, we're not them or we're not them, we have been labeled by these same people just like Father Bill's. So we wanted to play with that. And we also thought, writing social justice pieces, I know you've got to have some levity every once in a while. So we figured this would also be a good way to bring in some comedy while thinking about how outsiders view us and view people that follow us. And we know that many of you live in the neighborhoods that are also labeled. So if you're labeling one neighborhood, somebody else is labeling you as well. So that's what I thought it was important.
Question?
Yes. So you mentioned did I hear you mention, are you still doing story circles at Father Bill's? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I personally felt once we started the play that we were just not done there. These were real relationships we formed. I mean, I've been to Tammy's house, she's read Tammy's house. I mean, so I just felt like we weren't done, and I asked if we could continue the story circles. I also did a lot of the cast members they weren't a part of the original story circles. So it was important as well to give them the opportunity to get to know the guests and get to know the space and get to know the people. So we've been back there since the beginning of the year, every Thursday night. We also knew that we had run story circles at 11 in the morning last semester or in the spring. And that was one of the things we were curious about. Would we have a different number turnout if we ran in the evening? So, just as an ethnographer, I like to look at like how, the variables play. It's fascinating because we were in the resource room, which felt like a small room in the spring. And now we're in your office or somebody's office. I mean, we make it work. But I said to the students, we learn all these theater activities to engage with, and after the first night I said, just recognize how we adapt when you have no space to move your body at all, and still how powerful it is to have your voice heard. And that's really what theater is about, in my opinion. hearing your own voice and knowing you've been heard and responded to. So, yeah, so we've been back there. I mean, and once the place closes, we'll be back. So, I don't know if you guys are still here from the current story circle, but there were a few tonight who came. We're really excited to be able to see. And actually, the poems that got read, that came from the recent story circle group, because they were like, why aren't they in the play? What's the play? I was like, we cannot rewrite the play. So the poems that we used came from a writing exercise we did with them, so that they felt like they were a part of the play. So.
How fun was it for Allison to portray Tara?
It was super intimidating. Oh my God, it's so scary, but.
What's it like to portray an icon?
I know, right? You know, I likened it to Jim Carrey learning to play Andy Kaufman for that movie. But yeah, no, it was interesting because obviously, like, we went to college together. We were friends in college. I was in her senior directing project, and yeah, it's been a fun experience.
You're getting learning compliments. By the way.
Excellent. Thank you. I thrive on compliments, so that works out great.
I have a practical question. How can we be like helping now? Not like waiting for the future.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask Gene Red and Tammy to respond to that, since they were. How can we help now? So after seeing the play, trying to bring awareness to the situation, what can be done now?
That was something that was brought up last night too, and I talked to Tara a little bit about it this evening. And I'll tell you the same thing I did. It was actually the pastor here
at one of the local churches.
Yeah, one of the local churches. I grew up in Halifax, which is a tiny little town south of here. It has one stoplight and whole place, and there was only two churches: the Catholic Church and the UCC. And coming to Quincy, I was a little out of my element, but I noticed that there are practically churches on every street corner here in the city of Quincy. And these are huge buildings that it seems to me that if it's only going to be open on Saturday or Sunday, it seems like an awful waste of space. So why can't we utilize these religious buildings and do the Christian thing and make a space for these people, people from Father Bill's or other shelters within the area to go. So on any given day, if we can't hang out at Dunkin' Donuts, if you do get kicked out, as you saw, what happened to myself and McDonald's, or Wendy's. Sometimes I would go out to these places alone, and that's the only time you don't seem to be noticed. Why not have a play? Why not have a map of places within the city limits at any given moment, no matter where someone is that is homeless, that they can say, hey, I'm at such and such location. I know this list of churches are going to be open, and make resources available so people can sit down and look for jobs, learn how to build resumes, search for homes, have adult daycares at some facilities do have, so people have something to do. Because that was one of the complaints that I heard from the people that I drove with, that they were actually afraid to go out on the streets because if they got bored, that's where the substance abuse starts to come back. So if we give these people a positive outlet to go to, and what better place than your local churches here in the city, and open up this sanctuary. The church is a sanctuary, and that's where the epicenter of life was 200 years ago. Why we've gotten away from that, I don't know, but I think if we go back to that, and like Yaz said, we can end homelessness. There's a way to do it. And I think the churches could really be a big part of that. And instead of looking at it as a problem, why don't we become a more solution-oriented community?
Well, first of all, Mr. Gass hit the nail on the head. The problem is lack of affordable housing. In this area, big issue. Won't get into all the details and everything, but the affordable housing trust, there's a lot of money. Lots of those people that will partner with the trust, build affordable. bills are going up that are paying a surcharge as opposed to including 10% of the affordable rate. Tammy, social justice action committee of my church found that in a congregation survey that homelessness is one of the things that the congregation is concerned about. The group, we talked about it, a small congregation, couldn't come up with anything to last, do it right away, but knowing that there's a lack of places for people to go during the day, Father Mills is an emergency shelter, basically a venue. So we are twice a year now holding the festival brunch, those camps. And anybody's associated with Father Mills, home cooked food, real cooked food, not frozen fish sticks, or frozen meatballs, real food, real fellowship, and in our survey that come back, we told the couples that one of the things that everybody mentions is fellowship. It's just as important as so we're trying to get that going. My personal mission is to get some motivation. We can't be every single day, it's a few days a week. A place where they go and plug in their phone together on contract, and sit, developing real that, develop watching, developing watching. Basic phone. Searching for houses, searching for something. Fortunately, the smart will a little bit around. But it's a tough situation, but this home,
I would say too on a larger level, something you might be aware of, the Department of Public Works, recreating that area where we are in. And so talking to your local representatives about the importance of Father Bill's and our housing resource center plans and making sure that our neighbors indeed have a safe place to stay, making sure that like they were saying in the play, that we don't want this warehouse model, that we want to be people's first option. A lot of times we are people's last resort. We want people to come to us first when they start to feel like they're in a housing crisis. So we really need people to advocate for us to keep going forward.
I'll also just throw out, I still think Popcorn Lady is such a great example. You know, if you think you're powerless, something as simple as showing up with some movies weekly, committed, being there, and I mean, we talked about like where you're watching Princess Bride, and going, I remember that, and I thought, like, yeah. But that, it felt like that was a consistent story we heard from guests, Popcorn Lady, and I thought, like, she doesn't have to do anything, she doesn't have to, she just shows up and lets them be popcorn and watch movies. So I was moved by that story way at the beginning when we spoke, because I thought, like, we all think, I've got to either donate a lot of money to make a difference, or all I can do is show up and cook dinner. But there are little things you can do. I think if you use your imagination and think through, what do I have in my power? And Tammy talking about just breaking up the monotony. I mean, a lot of the guests who came to the stories are really shared right away, like, look, I'm just here to do something different. But as they got involved, they realized it meant something different to them after sharing the stories. But just to have the monotony broken up felt like a